Greetings, 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 and TGIF, everyone. How are you doing? What's going on? Hope you're having a wonderful beginning of a weekend, and I hope you had a wonderful week as well. What's going on with you good people? Enjoying the weather? What you doing? Vacation time? Got a birthday? Happy birthday, Neek. How are you? Happy birthday to you. Let's see. What's going on? I mentioned to you guys on article reaction about the Illinois Department of Employment Security has been hacked and is they're still trying to hack it. So I have a video that I found I'm going to share with you guys for article reaction for tomorrow. And I really want you to take a look at it because I found out that a friend of mine have been compromised. And I mentioned to you all, how are you or someone, how are they applying for unemployment benefits and you're working? That was one of my questions. And I don't know. It, like I said, it really bothered me when I saw that it was 950,000. Wait a minute, was it thousand or million? Just remember the number nine. What was it? No, it was 450 because it was 95,000 people compromised, but it was 450 million attempts through from last week to try to get in their system. That's what it was. Okay, I remember now. So I'm going to follow up with that on tomorrow. And let's see what else is happening. A lot of stir about the sentencing of Chauvin. But I will say that they have a little birdie, they have an ace in a hole, they have tricks up their sleeves and all of that. So just be prepared because the sale hasn't shut and the bars haven't, click closed and locked. So just get prepared for that, just to warn you. It's, I mentioned today to someone that I see how Karen gets um, her ways from Ken. Because as guilty as you are in doing a thing, you try to come up with 1,000,001 ways of saying I'm not guilty or blaming a victim. It happens each and every time. It's just ridiculous. Yeah. Okay. And then other than that, we might go over a little bit more because this is the part 2, because we didn't really get a chance to dive in of the gentleman's background. And there's some things I wanted to point out, and then some other people want to join in as well. So we're going to pick up from there. And then also, like I did last week, I threw in something new. So that way the people that come in early, they can see something new. And if they want to leave and go on to other ventures, then they can do so. I think that's fair. I think of everyone. I'm just too kind. I think I need to stop doing that. Instead of just thinking of other people, just go ahead and do my thing. What do you think? What do you think? Yeah, I do this for you all. I tell you, I do. All right. So without further ado, you all know what to do. Raise your hands up in the air and give the Jamaican Canadian, or should I say Canadian Jamaican? I don't know. What's proper? Well, C comes before J. Should I go in that order? But anyway, Class Ruby is on her way. So everyone, give her a nice round of applause. We got to make her feel welcome, right? Here she comes.
Stay down there, girl.
Stay down there.
Stay down there.
Stay down there. Yes. See now, Char, listen. I'm okay with you forgetting to consider everybody else. But if you didn't consider me, I wouldn't have that lovely intro. So I can't co-sign that. I can't at all. Because that intro brings me such joy. It is worth waiting for all week. Just to hear it. Like, I'm just like, yes. Stay down there, girl. Yes. Right? Like your life depends on it. Stay down there. Like, oh, I love it. How you doing, this lovely TGIF, Char?
I am doing pretty well. Doing pretty well. I had I don't know, the week, I mentioned before, I always have daily goals, and sometimes a little disappointed or saddened if I don't get a chance to reach most of them. But I did pretty good this week, I will say. I did pretty
Nice,
good.
nice. Okay. You know what? Listen, I'm telling you, the universe, apparently Mercury is in retrograde. I don't know what that stuff means, but apparently it means things are supposed to go wrong. And I'm starting to believe in it because there were so many days that if something could go wrong, it would. That's just how it was. Like, I don't know. This week was something. But despite that, I persevered. That's right. I even did power yoga today. You know what power yoga is? Y'all think yoga is a joke. Do some power yoga. Just look at power yoga and do 30 minutes of that. You will be sweating so much you can't even see through the sweat. It's just blinding you. Okay. And you're going to be like,
Wow.
oh, I do cardio. I'm not going to sweat. Oh, yeah? I challenge you. Do power yoga. And we'll see. You come back and you let me know that you beat power yoga. No, power yoga. No one beats power yoga. Power yoga beats people. So, I mean, I feel like after that, I'm like, yeah, I can conquer anything. So, I kind of feel like I accomplished some goals. I accomplished the most important goals. Let's put it that way. The most important ones. So I feel good too. It was a good week with Mercury in retrograde, whatever that means. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. Everyone keeps putting it in like titles of like videos and people keep referring to it on Facebook. And I'm like, how do y'all know that? And why do you care? Like, what does that mean? It doesn't mean anything to me. Oh no, Mercury's in retrograde. That's it. Don't make any decisions. Don't go outside. Mercury's in retrograde. Like, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm trying. I'm trying to be down with y'all young folks. It's,
Okay.
We do the best we can.
And that's all right.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it takes is trying. That's why I always say that's the most important thing is to try.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of trying, we're going to start off with the first young man. He is a return person.
Mm-hmm.
Because where I'm grabbing the clips is from Instagram, and it's supposed to be, intro to dating. And the guy has been on several times, and it's not, going well for him. Yeah, so I was going to see if anyone have any ideas, because hey, that's what we do over here. We solve problems. We throw out a lot of ideas and different things, and let's see what we can do for the young man. All right? Okay. All right. So here we go. Let's see, it turned up. Okay.
Yeah. How's it going?
Zero, now you've been up here. You ain't get a girl yet. You've been up here like 5 times.
No, I haven't.
So are girls getting in your DMs?
A few sent me some requests and I accepted them, but no DMs.
No DMs.
Maybe one, but just talk, but it is nothing serious. Just say hello and that's it. Nothing serious.
They just say hello. Okay, so Zero, what kind of female are you looking for? Tell everybody again.
I'm looking for a woman who's intelligent, competent, and caring, and have good self-confidence about herself.
It has what?
Good self-confidence.
Good self-confidence with herself?
Just being in touch with God like I am. Because without God, we're no one. That is the truth.
Well, no, Zero, when you were saying before, you said she can't have a bonnet, she can't have gold teeth, she can't have a deep voice. That's what you said the last time you was here.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, that too.
I think, are you going out in the world? Because you can't, I mean, my show was a great too, but you also have to go out and meet people.
Yeah, that's true.
Just can't sit at home every night. You gotta go out and meet people, Daryl. You've been on the show at least 4 times now. So now I want you to go to the strip club. Would you go to a strip club?
When I'm not working, I mean, I guess I'll try to get with somebody and do that. I just started working recently.
Someone said, okay, Daryl's been here a couple times, so I didn't ask him, but let me ask you. They want to hear it. Tell them your deal breakers.
A deal breaker is a woman with deep voices, smokes, just come out in her pajamas and house shoes, have gold teeth in her mouth. That don't look good, and wearing the bonnets.
Oh God. All right, and Daryl, where are you located again?
I'm located in Mississippi.
He's in Mississippi. And what's the age range you want to date?
25 through 45. I'll change it up a little bit.
How old are you?
I'm 32.
He's 32. Okay, and when was your last relationship?
I haven't had a relationship before.
You haven't had a relationship. This is why I said I need you to go to a strip club. I need you to get like, because women, you know, unfortunately, we like good bad guys. They want you to be a good guy, all into them, but they want you to have some swag. And then I need you to go and break it off and just like go to the strip club. You don't got to sleep with none of them.
Right.
Get that kind of sauce on you.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I got to see your outfit. Show me your outfit. Let me see what you're working with.
I got more outfits in the back, but this is what I'm wearing right now.
Okay, it's actually not a bad outfit. I don't think that's bad, to be honest.
All right, appreciate it.
Okay, you might got to get contacts, though.
Yeah.
Maybe get a gold chain. Get a gold chain. Get some diamond earrings. No, you gotta bling out a little bit if you want to attract the ladies.
Yeah, I don't mind getting a chain, but the earrings is a no. I don't like piercings.
Oh, that's right. You don't like women with gold teeth either, right?
Right.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, listen, Daryl, you are a good guy, but look, we're gonna give you a break from coming on this show because I want you to go out next Saturday night and Friday night and see what it do.
All right. Well, I mean, it'll be a while. If you let me back on in a while, that'll be fine. So, well, that's all right then.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye, Daryl Boo.
Okay. So, with you guys, I do agree as far as the strip club. I do agree that that isn't the best direction. But I think I know where she's coming from. She's trying to get him into something to loosen him up.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the direction she's coming from. But you know, unfortunately, Daryl has been on the show seriously 4 times, and no one is hitting him up. Nothing's going on. But he's one thing. If you was listening, he doesn't interact outside of social media.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the bigger things that we hear so much with the folks online. They're good with the talking points, what maybe they don't want or what's maybe seen or whatever, but they have no personal interaction.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure what's going to happen to Daryl at 32 years old. And I'll let you guys go ahead.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say, and I'm not trying to say this in a bad way, but I identified this in women where women create these extravagantly long lists and keep adding to it. And that's really a farce. They don't mean anything on the list. It's just their excuse as to why it is that no men are approaching them, why they're alone. And then they can kind of flip it around and be like, well, it's not that there are no men, just no men who live up to my standards. And it seems like that's what he's doing. Because if he still hasn't been in a relationship yet, right? He still hasn't gone close to a relationship yet. Then how is he adding more things to his list? It doesn't make any sense because right now he doesn't know any more or any less that he needs anything more or anything less than he said last time. In fact, I don't even know how he has a list if he's never been in a relationship, because he doesn't know through the process of elimination what he likes and what he doesn't like, what he wants and what he actually needs. He has no idea. And he's using the list the same way that women do. It's as this insulation, right? So if you've got this list and you just keep adding things to the list, and I think he's adding things based on what he's hearing in certain spaces on the internet are uncommon things amongst women, or are rare these days, or women don't have. So you're just going to keep adding to those things, and then he's hoping that that will give him like an out. So he's not a loser who is too scared to approach women and who is not attractive enough financially or physically to get women to approach him. No, it's not that he's a loser, right? It's just that no one measures up to his standard. Even though I'm pretty sure if we were all speaking logically, I don't know any 25-year-olds who have gold teeth. So he's just making things up and throwing it in there and thinking it applies to the majority because it's something he saw in a music video once. Like, does he have any experience with women at all? I'm not even sure he's been on a date at all.
No, not at all. Welcome to the panel, Vonda.
Hey, girl,
Hey,
hey.
Char. Hey, Ruby. Okay, Ruby, I just want to say, and Char, when you do Ruby's intro with the little dancing, I swear, oh God, I want to get up and start knocking my knees like that every time I hear it.
Right?
The horn, and I'd be like, I'm like, oh no, you better sit down, girl. But
Right?
I just want to do it. But yeah, I love your intro. Okay.
Well,
Well,
see,
thanks
not
for
just
having
me.
Thanks for having me, ladies. Okay, you know what? Maybe I wasn't paying attention, but I have a question. What is his complaint? What the hell is wrong with Lil Daryl?
No, there's no complaint. This comes from the young lady. She does a show on Instagram Live, and you give information about yourself. You give your what is it called? It's not called DM number, whatever it's called. You give your name to be found on Instagram, and people that are interested, they will contact you.
Ooh, that sounds like fun. Like if I was like 22. Yeah, I'd be like, oh, somebody pick me. That sounds like kind of fun, if you're younger. And Daryl's 32, so he's around in that age range.
Yes, so that's what's going on.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. I kind of went a little mute when he started mentioning bonnets and, talking points that you hear, the regular complaints you hear about Black women. And my thing is, when you start hearing those things, it's like, okay, do you really know women like that? Or because you don't have any experience with women, you want to add that to your list of why you can't really, get with a woman because they're all, uncouth and, not suitable for you. There ain't no good women around, basically. And you know what? I mean, Daryl's not a bad looking guy. I mean, I kind of joked in the chat, he kind of looks like Hannibal Barris, but he's not a bad looking dude. He's 32. He sounds a little inexperienced, like he doesn't have much experience with women.
That is correct.
For the most part, the average dude that really does have experience with women and, they've had their, share, they don't go to these shows. They don't call in to ask for, advice. They just don't do that. And, I'm not knocking Daryl, because, hey, at least he's trying to figure it out. But I think he might want to go in there with the open mind and kind of, drop all that negative stuff, because like I said, the minute he started mentioning bonnets, I just did a face palm. I'm like, I don't want to hear about nobody in their bonnets.
Yeah, he doesn't know. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to leave it as a surprise. I'm going to reach out to some of these guys and ask them to come on the show. And we can give them some real-time information.
Yes.
Because, most people are they use their platform to laugh at people, make fun of them. We may have a joke here and there, but we're never trying to tear someone down. We're
Oh,
actually trying to
absolutely
figure out
not.
what
Yeah.
is going on. So um, I'll see if I can reach out to Daryl. He's in Mississippi. He works a lot, but I'll see. He shouldn't be too shy not to come on. And if anyone have talked to me before, when I used to have people on the show, on the BGS for women, I actually talk to them on the phone. So we have a conversation because I want to make sure that that person is comfortable, they know what's going on, and there's no surprises.
Okay, that sounds cool. That would be great, Char.
It would be.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah,
hope he
but he
doesn't
does.
balk.
We would be nice to Daryl. Daryl would get treated correctly. We
Oh
wouldn't,
yeah,
we wouldn't hurt him.
No.
right. And hopefully we can give him some information and lead him in some different, a better direction, and he can ask us questions because we'll answer them for him.
Hmm.
And let's see what success. Because one thing that Neek had mentioned in the chat room, which I'll give a little short intro and then I go around, let you guys speak. But that was one of the first things I heard when he mentioned church. I'm like, that's where all the women are, and
Right.
his age range, he's looking for younger as well as older than him. So he can go down the line, each pew, and approach these women, and you start off small because he's right there. Just go ahead and say, okay, um, I like to take you on a picnic, or let's go to the church function. So that'll be one thing that we'll mention. But um, I'll go ahead and introduce Neek. Happy birthday! Welcome to the
Neek!
panel.
Hey,
Happy
Neek, birthday
birthday!
girl. Happy born day.
Woo!
Thank you, ladies. How's everybody doing?
Great.
I'm
Hopefully not
pretty
as good as
good.
you, right?
I'm
I've been
pretty
having a
good, but
great,
I
I've been
need to
having a
approach
great time
somebody.
this month.
Yes, girl.
All
Yes.
right.
This month. Okay.
Okay.
Excuse me. She said, I'm just going to turn up for the month. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you.
Me either. I do the same thing. I have a whole birthday season, so you better get it.
Right. Thank you. Right.
Nick, before I let you go ahead, I have to deal with Don Teasy because he's always messing with me. I don't know what it
Oh.
is, but I told him what I'll do. I will do it. Don't make me do it. I'm gonna have to. I'm coming to see you. I'm coming to see you.
The TV about to get some long distance hands.
Right?
But go ahead, Lady Vonda. I'm sorry, Lady Nee. Go ahead and join in.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, you could just tell he's one of these socially awkward guys. So he has to come up with these kind of out of the ordinary, like deal breakers. Because what is a deep voice? Like that could be anything. Like he might think if you don't sound like Miss Chalet, then your voice is deep. Like it's all this nondescript stuff, right?
Thank you.
That's just very broad because it's got to be like, it's not me why I can't find a woman. It's them because they have all these problems.
They got a bonnet and I'm like,
right.
What the heck? What?
Gold
Right.
teeth. Fashion style these days.
Gold teeth. I can't name one chick
honestly,
that I bump elbows with gold teeth.
No, honestly, he's down south. He's in Mississippi, they said. There are a lot of women with grills down south. So that's not
but like
that
permanent ones? permanent ones be that are under the age of 50? Permanent? Like for real? Since when?
But I guess he's saying like
He needs to move.
as soon as he sees the grill, he's turned off.
Well, he should move, or I'm sure not all the young chicks out there got grills. Or he walks up on a chick from behind that has a really nice body. She turns around and she got a grill, and he's like, "Oh no!" Hey, find out what her personality is first, dude. Don't
Right,
judge
right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing, and you can tell that he may be in some of these social media spaces, and he's picking up these talking points and why he shouldn't like certain women.
Well, if he comes onto the show, we should like say, hey, just one word of advice. You may not want to regurgitate these heavily used talking points. Maybe you can speak from your point of vantage, but if you're speaking to a broad group of women that are not from your area, you might not want to say the thing about the gold teeth, because a chick like, in the YouTube area, if you're coming to this arena, they're going to be like, gold teeth? What is he talking about, gold teeth? I don't have no gold teeth.
Right.
So, know your audience, dude, and kind of leave all that, specific stuff out there. What you're looking for is someone that you can relate to, someone who has great character. Who knows, if you meet her with the grill, after you guys get together, get to know each other, she might be like, I'm gonna take this damn grill out.
Right.
Right.
So it's like, stop with all this superficial stuff. Just cut it out. I don't think, the thing that ticks me off when people, you hear all of this gender war, and you hear all of, well, black women, they do this, black men, they be doing this, and you just be like, oh, I mean, you guys, I'm not simple-minded. I'm really not, but I'm very simplistic in the way that I think that I think that people should meet, get to know each other, and find out if they're suitable. Rather than going on these bitter rants about, the last 12 people they ran into. At least you know what you're not looking for, and maybe you can find what you're looking for at, for the next chick.
Right, exactly. And like I said, and what a lot of guys don't realize is you kind of tell on yourself when you start talking about the stuff you don't like, because it's telling about the caliber of woman you're going after. Like
It's the chick with the bad body,
right?
It's the chick with the bad body. They see a big booty, they see some, dangly boobies and a small waist, and they're like, "Oh my God, I got to have her." And she got, 4 baby daddies. She got a grill, and she talked to him like dirt, but he got to have the booty, dude. You know what? Let's just be. Maybe they should choose better. They're always telling women to choose better. Choose better. I mean, come on. Let's come on. Don't choose her based on her stats as far as her body.
But that booty though.
Don't people meet people and choose them based on, compatibility, or, I like the way they talk. I like his brain.
No, so y'all missed one. You missed one. See, when he said, I want a good God-fearing woman. Well, he goes to church, so he's probably one of 3 men in the whole church, right?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if he even goes to church, because there's no way you're having this conversation and you're active in the church.
Yeah,
no, he said it, but no.
What chick is in the church with a grill? For real?
No. That's not what it is, y'all. Listen, that's a dog whistle sign for he's saying, I want a virgin. That's what he's saying. Right? When he says a good God-fearing woman, he doesn't mean someone who now believes in God after doing her dirt in her early 20s. No. He wants a virgin, a pure virginal girl. Why? Because he's a virgin, and not like, for religious reasons, because no one's ever wanted to sleep with him. So he has 0 experience, and he knows he will not be able to please a woman who is well experienced, knows what she wants, and whatever. So what he really wants is a virgin, but he can't just say that, right? Because people like me will give this follow-up. So instead, he's going to say, I want a good God-fearing woman. But there's like 1,000 of them you could have chosen from your own church or every church nearby. Every woman says that they want a guy who loves God. You could have used that
body though. Those chicks in the church didn't have a body that makes his, Oscar Mayer, salute.
Oh no, all the ones who have the body aren't virgins. See how that works?
And they
And
not
he's
at
a
church.
virgin.
They've been out all Saturday evening. They not even home on Sunday morning to go to church. They just getting in.
Girl,
But-
how do you mean? They will roll up into church straight from the club. I don't know who you talking about. These are black
No,
people.
that's blasphemous, Ruby. No, you don't do that. You ain't supposed to do that.
But you also have to catch the fact that he said he wouldn't mind going to a strip club. Like, what God-fearing woman are you
Lord,
finding in the
you
strip
know
club?
what? Okay, let me take my glasses off. You know what? You know what? These are the type of conversations that I have a problem with. In one breath, he's asking for a God-fearing woman, but I wouldn't mind going to the strip club. Dude, you're going to find grills in the strip club.
Right.
You're going to find grills. Not only girls, but grills. Girls with grills.
Everything you don't want is in the strip club, but
Can
you're
we
gonna go
stop
there
it?
looking for a woman. Like, yes, exactly.
Can we
Stop.
stop it? It's like, stop. You can't get the baddie that's a virgin and goes to church and, only wants you. It's not going to happen.
Y'all see, y'all have to catch the flex, okay? This lady speaking to him caught the same vibe I did. He is a virgin all the way, inexperienced and insecure as hell. So what she's trying to do is send him to the strip club. So that way, in essence, he can get some dances paid for by maybe even pay one of them to go into the green room for an hour.
Champagne room, okay.
Right, yeah, and rub some of that virginity off of him. No, I'm being so serious,
Lord.
right? Because then he'll be able to relax and kind of have that thing where he's not so scared of having a woman instead of a little girl. Do you know what I mean? That maybe he might actually, I don't know, stop trying to sit around and be the woman and have men. Because women, we just sit around, we go, hi, this is my name, this is my account, DM me, right? And people will. But when you're a dude, it doesn't work that way, right? You have to come and look for your prey, right? Not the other way around. But he wants you to sit there and hopefully the right one filters into me. Who's all these things? Like, he's a virgin. I'm telling you, he's an insecure virgin. And she caught that flex and she's trying to send him to the strip club and hopefully he'll get drunk there and he'll wake up without his virginity. That's what she's hoping. Yeah, that's it.
But you know what? I'm gonna say something, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, but you know what? When you have a dude that's like this, and he's going to the internet, and he's you're seeing his inexperience, and he's talking about his inexperience without even really saying he has inexperience. Where's his father? Where's his uncle? Even if you learn your trash ways, you learned them, a lot of stuff from your daddy, your uncles, or you learned, good things from your daddy and your uncle. And for me, this gentleman, he seems like, maybe there was no one there to, kind of guide him, because, boys tend to look at their fathers and girls, look towards their mothers, and it just seems like he just seems like, he has the idea. Everybody is, inundated with the propaganda of, like the woman you should have. And she's always like this bad chick, with the bad body, every guy wants her, but she don't want them. She wants you. It's like, can we get out of that fantasy? And then when you get a chick like that at the strip club with a grill, you're wondering why she won't act right. But the girl who doesn't have, the big booty and who's not in the club and, she is a good girl and she's not trying to, just sex you up on the first night, you don't want to be bothered with her.
That's because beauty is everything.
That was the greatest.
So I'm sorry. I think it's a case of sometimes, guys not wanting the girl that, and you know what, and who knows, maybe, he has unrealistic, expectation. That all women, have to look and be a certain way, but he wants a certain personality on that type of looking woman,
I think the majority of guys in his, let's be real, in his dating pool, right? Like, I mean, the people who are reasonably within his dating pool, I think the majority of those guys use those talking points as an excuse. And the reason why they do is because it would be very shameful to say, no, they don't have any of those standards at all. Like, sure, it'd be great if that miracle happened to them, but in reality, they know it won't. And yet, despite having zero standards, women still aren't checking for them. Right? Like, that would be too embarrassing. So they don't say that. Instead, they say, no, women out there don't measure up to my standard, and then they can hide behind that. That's why I brought it up at the very beginning. It's the same thing when women come up with these impossible lists of
Right.
75 characteristics that nobody uses and values and keeps a marriage happy and a relationship going or makes a good father or husband. But it doesn't matter, right? Because you get to hide behind this list, and now, you're not single because you're a loser, because you're not good enough or whatever. You're single because no one else measures up. And I think that's
Right.
what he's doing, because
No, I'm sorry, Ruby. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I think that's exactly what he's doing. And I
Mhm.
find it ironic that these particular guys that fall into this category, right, where they calling themselves lames and, the terminology that they use nowadays.
Mhm.
But they have the same things. They're doing the same things that they're complaining that women do. Oh, they
Mhm.
only want this
What?
particular type of guy. They don't want the regular everyday
Mhm.
dude. The guy's got to be this. The guy's got to be that. He's got to be a high value man, or he's got to be a pookie. They don't want
Yep.
just a regular guy, but they don't want regular women either. They
True,
Mhm.
want the
Meek. That
pretty
is
Jenny woman.
so true. That is so true. I agree with that 110%.
You know what? I'm gonna say this, y'all. I've been watching a lot of court TV lately. I mentioned it a lot.
Yes.
And, and one thing I'm gonna say, and the reason why I disagree with y'all, is because from the evidence of the wide wealth of couples court and paternity court that I've been watching, women have far higher standards in real life than men do. Because it's way more often that you will see he's a pretty good looking guy. Like, you look at his face and whatever, and you hear what he's doing, and you're like, yeah, it's a pretty good catch. And then you look at her and you're like, oh, damn, okay. How'd she get him? That happens more often. I'm gonna be all the way 100, right? The amount of women who are overweight, but they're not just overweight because they already had his kid, but when you look at the early pictures, she was already very overweight, right? So there's so many of them that I'm gonna say that no, when women are saying that they're upholding these ridiculously high standards and blah 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 blah, there's actually more evidence of that. Just if you just look at all the baby fathers, right? Just if you're looking at baby mamas and baby fathers alone, right? What we're seeing is a trend where these guys are saying they have one standard, but what are they following through with? And then they come on with their wife, right? And they got the baby mama there, and neither one of these women is drop dead gorgeous, right? Now, neither one of these women has a crazy body like a dime, ain't overweight, has a perfect face like she Beyonce. You know what I mean? None of them, right? And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with average. What I'm saying though is they say that there's something wrong with average, so they're gonna come here on the internet and talk about how that's way below their standards. But in real life, they don't care. I'm telling you, more men that are willing to admit it are just looking for a woman who's going to love them, respect them, and treat them right. That's it. So that way they have someone to love and respect and treat right. That's what they want.
Where
They
are
won't
they at,
admit it
Ruby?
because they know it makes them a simp. But that's what they want.
I'm sorry, Ruby. Where are they at? Where
All over the internet. All over the internet. Listen.
I ain't no child. I've not
Okay, you know
seen
what,
that.
Vonda? Just for you, every single time I see an episode now, I'm gonna copy and paste it to you. I send her some
You know
sometimes.
what?
I'm gonna
You're
start
gonna have
sending
to
them
do
to
that
you.
because yeah. I'm gonna say I don't agree with you. What's new, huh? Okay.
Right?
um, no, Ruby. I don't think women have too high of expectation. They may start out with this 30-point list, but the minute they find that physical and that mental attraction with that man, they would knock off 28 of them damn points and, run off into the sunset with this man.
Ooh, you see what you
Because
just said right there? Physical attraction. That is the point that we're talking about, the difference between men and women. Because it's true. We need a physical attraction to our spouse. I think that women's physical attraction thing, I think we're more specific. Like, as in men can just look at your boot, your bum, or the curve of you, or something on you, and be so attracted to that, plus your personality, plus whatever, that it's enough. But for women, I think that, like, our visuals, like, as much as it gets dismissed all the time, we care a lot about your face and whatever. And that actually goes back to an evolution thing, right? Because our level of attractiveness actually has to do with our strength as far as our genes go. It tells you how healthy we are. Right? Like our symmetry tells you babies generally are born symmetrical. So when an adult is asymmetrical, it tells you that they went through some type of childhood illness and they didn't fare well, right? Which is why they got the asymmetry. So that's just for example. And I mean like a literal for example. So what I'm saying is I think that actually women are being more picky when it comes to like just the surface when you're judging someone's face on a scale of 1 to 10 kind of thing. I think we're more picky about that than men are.
Well, and you know what? And that might be so because men are visually more attracted to women, but it goes to their genitals. So they see something visually, they're like, oh my God, look at those boobs, or oh my God, look at that. They don't say butt, they say ass, look at that ass. And her face could look like, a dog biscuit. And it doesn't matter. Whereas women, it is, that part is a little bit different. That is, might be a little bit different.
Exactly, right? Or like with men, you have to remember that nature, like when we were evolving 10,000 years ago, there was really no accounting for people who might be 400 pounds overweight. There just wasn't, right? It just doesn't exist naturally. There's no way we would have actually accumulated that much salt and sugar, carbohydrates, and essence to gain that much weight, given living off the land and whatnot. So men's brains are not proportioned. For all that they want to talk about weight, men's brains aren't proportioned to gauge your weight. They're actually proportioned to gauge the ratios, right? So your ratio, your waist to hip ratio, right? Your waist to hip ratio stays the same whether we're talking about 20-inch waist and 30-inch hips, or we're talking about 50-foot waist, right? And then whatever that same ratio is bigger in hips, right? Like my point is, right? Like it's a ratio. All they're seeing is the difference between your waist to your hips. They naturally calculate it in their mind, and if it's the right proportion, right, that golden ratio, they're gonna find it attractive, right? So no matter how much they're talking about overweightness and whatever, it's that ratio. And then of course, then you have guys who are leg men, guys who are boob men, guys who are, ass men, as Vonda said, maybe clutch my pearls because she was cussing. Whereas then I think women are just like, no, we're really looking at the signs of health that we're looking at. And I mean, subconsciously, are a little bit more cut and dry. Right? So a guy who doesn't know how to make that glitter, who doesn't know how to peacock, right? Like Buddy over there, and I agree with Kendra, like if he just took off his glasses, right? Maybe put on a suit jacket and stood with his chest out a little bit more, like he's, a man and not a boy, right? And just kind of, did that stupid thing where they look down and they smile a lot and they kind of talk in like those undertones, so a lot of the bass comes out, he'd be fine. Right? But he doesn't know how to peacock. He doesn't know how to make that thing happen where you're like eliciting that thing from women that makes us look at you and evaluate your actual characteristics to say, hey, are you a good mate? Do you have good mate potential? Should I actually procreate with you?
In other words, hey girl, what's up with that ratio?
Yes, girl, yes. That's exactly it.
I get your number. I like to check out your ratio. What's
yes. Yes. What's your ratio at, girl?
Right. I want to shout out to the HVMs, the high value mods. Thank you so much.
Oh God, that was so funny. High value mod. I'm like, really?
That has been created by Simply Neek. So
of course.
Anytime you see that, remember, shout out to the high value mods.
There you go.
All. Thank you so much for your participation. I need it. Thank you.
Anytime. No, y'all know I'm not down there. I don't know why I said anything.
Shame.
I know.
All right. So our gentleman of the evening, we're going to get it popping on. We should have a couple hours and get into it because there is a lot to unpack.
This guy.
So
yeah. Okay, let me take a sip
Right.
of my, of my
There
alcoholic
you go.
beverage.
Right?
Boy,
Damn.
here we go.
Take a shot, Neek, real quick. You're gonna need it. All right.
Boy and girl.
Because how old are your kids?
My boy is 10 and my girl is 2.
You got a 2-year-old?
Yeah. Got
Why
a
you
2-year-old.
why you not with the mom?
Drama. Because
Drama.
I like freedom, that's why.
You like freedom? You didn't have freedom with your child's mom?
No. Somebody would have been in jail, put it like that.
Oh no, well we don't want that.
Right.
Justin, 34, he's an Aquarius, Chicago, 2 kids, and he works in the mortgage industry. Let's go, baby. What kind of female are you looking for?
Just someone who was honest and loyal. If she can meet them.
Justin, what's some deal breakers for you?
Ghetto, unhonest, and loud.
So, Justin, when was your relationship? Was it your child's mother?
No, it wasn't. It was about almost 2 years ago. It's about.
You was dating somebody as you was having a baby?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, that's why I laughed.
So you wasn't with your child's mother when she was pregnant?
No.
Now you sound like a bad guy, Justin.
Bad guy. Hey, that's another story. There's more to it, so it's just not that simple.
Okay, it's not that simple.
Mm.
I would like to know how it can get simple, because I've heard this many times that a man has a child on the way and he's dating someone else. What is that all about? What's going on? Why is it the breakup right after she gets pregnant or during her pregnancy?
And you know what, Char, it may not even been like that. You know, it's going to be like whether the glass is half empty or half full. Either he didn't use a condom with this woman, or she didn't make him put one on. However you want to look at it. And he was already with somebody, you know, and he dipped out, you know, and did his man thing, but he did his man thing with a raw peen, you know. And a baby came about, but he was still with old girl over here. So he gonna stay over here, but she over this other chick over here that he has no relationship with other than a sexual one. But he's having a baby with her because he slid her the raw peen.
Yeah.
Yeah, could have been. But this happens a lot. A lot. I even met a guy. We didn't get a chance to date. And no, well, you can say what you want, Done TZ. You know, them plane tickets are just waiting. I dated this guy, or was getting to know him, rather. We didn't get that far. And his ex-girlfriend was pregnant. So he had a little girl on the way, and we talking. And I asked him about that. I said, well, you know, what happened? And I never got a definite answer. It was always roundabout. Now that was let me see, that guy, let's say that was 10 years ago. So a decade ago, this is still happening. So I've experienced it. I know other people have experienced it within the last couple of years. I'm seeing a lot of it online. So why is this so common? Why is it before you change partners or you break up, that person is pregnant? What is going on with that?
No, see, it's whole culture, right? And people are getting caught up in whole culture, and this is why. Because think about it this way, right? So casual sex is a totally acceptable thing. That, first of all, makes cheating a lot more likely, especially in younger people, right? But it also means that you're going to start having sex with a new person sooner once you break up with an old one. It means you're going to definitely move on to trying to find another romantic interest to fill the void a lot sooner, because you're not waiting. Nothing in your life is training you to wait any extended period of time between people, between partners. Even when you grow up, and you're like, yeah, I'm looking for less casual and more for, relationship after relationship. You still don't have that experience of having waited in your teenhood when you're single or whatever, for that, sexual or emotional fulfillment. You're just used to jumping onto the next one. So people are jumping from thing to thing to thing very, very quickly. So they could be on, the second person that they dated after they broke up with you by the time that person finds out that they were pregnant. Or they broke up 6 months ago, but shoot, neither one of you want to put an extra notch in your belt till you meet someone new. So you're still sleeping with each other, but you're not together, but you're still sleeping with each other. And then now he meets his new girlfriend. Everything's cool and everything. But guess what? That last goodbye sex, yeah, that was the one she got pregnant off of. Right?
Every time, every darn time. Let me deal with Don Teasy here. Okay. Now, and the reason also I'm pointing this out.
Sorry, I'm just reading it again.
This guy says that he's high value. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not caught up in all this. I know this is something new that's been running around rampant in the YouTube streets, but whatever that's supposed to mean, because there's so many definitions, that much I do know as well. Part of that I understand is you have options as well as money. But let's just get rid of the money part and just go to the options. If he has options, why are you sleeping with that woman? Why you just didn't move on to the next one? Because he said he had to let her go because he needed his freedom because he would end up in jail. So this is the type of stuff I'm talking about, all these little talking points. But when you ask a person to get the detail, you find out a lot of times they're just as messy as the person that they're blaming that is messy.
Right.
Because why would, if your penis is so valuable, why don't you withhold it from that person and say, I'm going to find me someone else because that girl is too much over there. I don't have time for that. She's not worth it. I'm going to meet me someone new. Just saying. Just saying.
Right. And he actually did say exactly what that was Ruby when he said that they had broke up, but they were still messing around. So it was exactly that situation based on what he said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like you said, it's like he is another one of these guys. You got all this list of stuff, but then you have the very same characteristics that you claim you don't want in a woman. Like attracts like.
And my thing is that, okay, let's just say for the sake of saying that, she continued, messing with him and, she's like, you know what, I already know he don't like to use nothing, eventually I'm gonna get pregnant and then I'm gonna get him. Okay. Yeah. Is it wrong for her to be thinking that? Or absolutely.
Yeah,
it really is. But my thing is if he know he's just, hitting and running, hit for run just for fun. I don't understand why he wouldn't want to protect himself, instead of run the risk of having a baby with this chick who he just enjoys sleeping with, but he don't want to be with her. He don't want to raise a family with her. He
doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's in it for the thrill, and whatever happens. It's not, his direct responsibility.
That, and to me, that just, I just feel like that doesn't make any sense. And I just feel if you're going to do that, there's no reason to complain. And if you're sitting up here, making random babies, for me, that is not a high value man who just, willy-nilly drops his seed somewhere, makes a baby, and, just moves on about it. That to me is not a high value man.
You need to stop. The only person who would ever call this man high value is him. Not even other people, if he actually outlined his life, would call him high value.
Well,
right?
I was just trying to let him know if he was listening to the broadcast this evening, sir, you are not high value.
No, he's not. He might be a high earner. He might be. If he's making over $100,000 apparently, right? Then he's a high earner. Right? But that doesn't make you high value. And so far as I understand, actually, the space overall is having a really difficult time clarifying this to men because, and this is something I brought up before, where if you make content, right, and within the parameters of your content, you're saying, hey, you can have everything you ever wanted from a woman. All you have to be is be a high value man, which doesn't just include you being a high earner, but you also have to have been making that much money for over 500,000 for over 5 years. You have to have, your high value social circle, right? So you can't just be dealing with ancient no count people. No, you actually have to be valuable to the group as well, right? So you have to be valuable to other high value men and so on. If you don't qualify for that, then basically what the content is saying to you, right, is you don't get what you want at all. You don't get to have those standards. You don't get to have that life. And the majority listening are not high value men, but they still want that life without the effort and without the accountability. So therefore, what are they going to do? They're just going to misrepresent themselves as high value men, right? Just like they've been misrepresenting themselves as something or another that women want since forever, right? And then try to sell themselves on, on shows like this to women and hoping some idiot falls for it. Right? Like that's ultimately what this game is. But let's not get it twisted. I think he's positive. He knows for sure. No one would consider him high value. Nobody.
Right.
Okay. The person has their government name, so I'm not going to say it. But if you like, you can type in the chat and let me know you are the one that contributed to the channel. And with that being said, we have to make Sheed sing. So here we go.
Doesn't it sound like the start of like every R&B song? Like it's just like, I don't know. Feel my soul.
He did that very well. That's very well. I like that.
Thank you for your support. All right, so I'll play a little bit more. Let's see. Where are we? What page is it? Oh, there he is.
Were y'all in a relationship when you got her pregnant?
No. We were on the verge of breaking up.
So
we were breaking up. You know how it go. You mess around with somebody, the last person you know.
See?
When y'all broken up, y'all just broke up. You know, you might dibble and dabble one more time.
No.
You've been
not there and get pregnant.
Well, just put it like this. It was baby Jesus. I didn't want to post that.
They say that you ghetto, Justin. Now that was ghetto what you did.
Well,
you
I got some ghetto. I got some in me too, so don't let this
You got some ghetto into you too. All right, so why'd you break up with the person your last relationship?
Because we're in court actually. I had to sue her.
You're suing your ex-girlfriend?
Yeah, she stole my jewelry, other items, and pawned it, and filed false police reports on me to cover up her crimes.
Okay, first of all, that's tacky as hell, and that's terrible. But let me ask you a question. Do you think maybe you might pick the wrong women, Justin?
Oh, go on her Instagram. She a women empowerment, motivational speaker, and all that high bullshit. Those fake jobs, influencer, all that.
And you fell for it?
Yeah, because he's a fake high value man. So,
So he gonna blame her.
Wow. So
let's see.
Do you like? Okay, Justin. Now I gotta admit, the women examples you have given us. We're questioning how you treat women.
No, it's not an S curl. It's my real baby.
You left your child's mother while she was pregnant.
You see that? Selling for another baby mama.
And then found out she was pregnant.
You daughter gonna have pretty her like mine, girl.
She got pregnant by you. So she had to get pregnant by you. So if you left her a month after you got her pregnant, whatever. But whatever the case may be, you didn't decide to try to figure out a relationship, right?
No, I told you I'd end up in jail or somebody end up dead. When somebody pulls a gun out on you multiple times, you go stay in a relationship with them?
Did she pull a gun out with you before you got her pregnant?
Yeah.
Well,
so then no.
Why you pregnant and she pulling guns out on you?
You got trying to get her. I just told you that we got baby Jesus.
Try.
And you're on a platform saying this stuff about your child.
Thank you. It's like, Dad, what?
Supposed to happen.
It's like, Dad, that's how you felt? For real?
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, don't even speak about it. Be like, I'm not going to speak on that because I'm going to have a child, in that relationship. So I'm not going to talk on that, because whether I like her or not, that's still my child's mother, and I'm involved in raising my kid. So I don't want my kid, to go through all that.
Right. And oh my God, the arrogance of it all. Like,
You have no problem telling the world how shit the mama is, but you lay down with her with a raw peen, and so you just lay down with shit?
No,
Yeah.
that's what he thinks he's doing. He thinks he's
I'm-
telling everybody how ain't
No, he
shit
doesn't.
he is, but he's really
I
telling
think it's a
everybody how
reflection on
ain't
him.
shit he is.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It is a reflection on him. He makes it seem like it's a reflection on her, but
Right.
I'm like looking at him and I'm like, dude, for real?
No, see, here's the thing. What y'all need to realize is this. This is called perpetual victimhood status, okay? He knows he's not a victim in anything. He knows he has the accountability. He knows he chose this. He knows he even likes the girls like this. He knows all of that, but that doesn't sell well, right? So he's trying to sell the fact that he's a victim, and he's gotten into that. Why? Because of the echo chambers. Because if you can sell your perpetual victimhood to the echo chambers, they'll support whatever you say. They'll be down for you, whatever. He's hoping, because I guess he's forgotten how to actually try to get girls now that it's starting to run dry, and he's desperate enough to come and do this, right? He's hoping that perpetual victimhood will still work for him. Listen, I didn't mess up my relationships. I didn't put me in mess up situations. Look at what these girls did to me. They all crazy. I'm just looking for a nice girl like you. You want to be the next nice girl on my list? Huh?
right. But who? And that's the thing. Like, what part of your brain is telling you that this shit is attractive to anybody with
It's such a turn
working
off.
brain
It
cells?
is such a turn off to
Like-
hear like dudes talk like this. It's like okay, Sahara Desert. It's such a turn off.
Yes.
It's such a turn off.
Let me get in here real quick. How y'all ladies going
crazy.
on the panel? I have been ordained by the greetings. I have been ordained. I got a promotion. I am Archbishop now.
Damn.
Pimp Greasy. You know what I'm saying? Hold on one second. Sister Mary Martha, no prayer cloths in the pool. No prayer cloths in the pool. All right, thank you. I had
Okay.
to Sister Mary Martha. You know, I got the sisters here. They having a good time. We relaxing. I was listening poolside, because you know, the only high value man running around in these streets is the Archbishop Archdiocese, because women are consumers and they like to give me their money. So I'm gonna tell you what the problem is. With this man right here in this polyester suit. He had to take it off a couple of times because he looked like he was gonna get heat stroke at nighttime. But let me explain something to you, right? I think y'all not looking at it the way. See, in man talk, he is basically saying, I got this woman pregnant after we wasn't dealing with each other. The children are older. They like in grade school. They like what, 9 and 10, if I heard it correctly. And the children, why is he complaining now? I'm gonna tell you why. No man would go back to a relationship, didn't get the woman pregnant while you was working in the relationship, then you get the woman pregnant after the relationship, and then 9 to 10 years later you complaining still about the woman.
Oh God.
You know why a man would do that? Because
Wow.
it was that good. It was good. Oh Lord, it was good, man. He was just marinating in it. He was like, I gotta have it. He said he wanted his freedom. You didn't listen to the catchwords, right? Let me explain it to you. He said he wanted his freedom. That had a hold on him. You know, he get in there and it just swap on him. You know what I'm saying? It just like handcuffs. He couldn't get away from it, right? He was thinking about it.
Give us free.
Noon and night. It was good. Look, that man is hurt. Look at that man. Look at the face on that man. Right? He had to take his glasses off and put them back on, because if he didn't have his glasses on, he'll start crying. You know what I'm saying? He could just sit up there. You know what I mean? And see, as men, we understand, right? He is pussy broke. I'm sorry to say it like that. He broke. Look at him. He has been broke down. He is up there crying and complaining. You know what I'm saying? He used all the Duke No Lie S-Curl relaxer on that head of his. He got a big head too, but he used all of that right there. Look at him. Look at it. He looked like he on the side of that box right there. He got he slick with the plastic bag on his head, sounding like he getting bags at the grocery store, not recycling. Look at him. Just look at this man. He's a shell of himself. He's like, I want to lay and relax in that. I want to be in that, right? And the way he looked, he knew she was no good, right? Because this is how he knows she was no good, right? If the man is sitting up here talking to another woman and he got all of his partners around him, right? They already told him, man, leave her alone, man. Leave her alone, man. Don't mess with her, man. She ain't no good, man. She done ran such and such pockets, you know what I'm saying? This woman particularly was for the streets. And the reason he can't find a good woman, because it's not as good as the one that he had before with the kids. I'm telling you.
Well, you know what, though? I want to add two things to what you said, because I definitely don't disagree, right? But the first thing I want to add to that is that if you are using what her Facebook profile says she's an activist as your justification for why you thought she was a good woman, you're full of shit. The second way you're full of shit is if you go, well, if a woman pulled a gun on you multiple times, so you stayed multiple times for her to pull the gun on you, would you stay in that relationship? Okay, but did she pull a gun on you before you got her pregnant? Yes. And then you stayed long enough to get her pregnant and have her pull a gun on you 2 more times. Yes. You know you're full of shit. Right? Like your reasoning doesn't make sense, bro, because anyone with any type of common sense and any type of like value for their own life after someone pulls a gun on them once doesn't stay for another time, right? Maybe, well, I'm sure she probably didn't need to pull the trigger. I'll just stay next time, right? Like no one's staying to do that unless they are so whipped. All right, I won't use the word because we got Vonda up here. We don't want no one clutching pearls or nothing. So he whipped, right? He's so whipped that she could do anything. And he was going to come back for more. In fact, it adds to the excitement because I bet you the makeup sex after that first one was amazing. Right?
I'm telling you.
I want to do it again.
Girl, the makeup sex, the introductory sex, the present sex, any bit of sex that he got from her was some good sex. He was just happy to be getting it.
Well, I have to say this though, because we're understanding this. We, heard the questions, we hearing it, and like, okay, this answer is not making sense, or you're not owning up to what you have done. With that being said, you hear the same talking points. He would be the guy. He would be the guy to give you the same talking points if you are a woman and you have children. He will tell you the same thing.
Yeah. And that's what pisses me off, right? Because got the accountability police around here running around screaming, accountability! What's funny is right before this stream, right? Another channel was doing a stream, and literally that's what he did. MTR, his whole entire channel was on 5 things he hates about the red pill. And that was one of the things he was talking about, right? Y'all just want to run around pointing the blame at all the women, but as soon as anyone says anything about men, let's take accountability for this. Even if it's a man, what do y'all do? Lowest rated videos. Don't want to hear it. Yelling at me from the comments section with some bullshit because you don't want to take accountability while you sit there and shame the women for not wanting to take accountability, right? So I mean, and it goes to show you though, I mean, on one side, I'm mad at it, but on the other side, I'm not. And the reason why is because if it's true that we have a lot of Generation Zs and young millennials who don't accept accountability, right, and it has something to do with their upbringing, well, guess what? Everyone's being raised by the same parents, right? Like, it's not like, oh, well, these ain't shit, no count parents are only raising girls, right? And all the great parents are raising the boys, right? Like, no, everyone's getting the same.
One, Ruby. That is a good one.
Ow,
I never thought of it like that. Thank you.
That stings. That really stings. Let me give a thank you. We have another donation to the channel. Shout out to Vonda. We're gonna make she sing.
Yeah, I'm gonna practice. I'm gonna get it with it. I'm gonna get it. Watch, you'll see.
Shaw, I think you should change that to Terrence Howard. I like that boy. That boy.
Hey!
Oh no!
Blasphemy.
Oh no!
You know what? Then if you're gonna do that, we might as well have a hit from Janet Jackson.
Oh no!
There.
Hey! Don't you dare compare lovely, wonderful Janet to Terrence Howard.
No, I didn't mean that in a bad way. I only said that because I know Shar doesn't particularly. She's not a huge Janet Jackson fan, so I'm like, well, we're gonna listen to Terrence. We might as well hear Janet say it too.
True. Actually, yeah. You know what? And Janet's better. Huh.
I'm not taking no sides. I'm not taking no sides.
Can't even say rational shit. Can't say stuff that makes sense when it comes to this war between me and Shar and Janet, okay? No, not doing it.
But this but that's what it is. That's what it is. This man, he's been whipped, right? He is still talking about a woman, right? From 10 years ago.
No,
right?
no, the kid
Well,
is
he's a 2-year-old. He got a 10-year-old and a 2-year-old.
He got a 10-year-old and a 2-year-old.
He a Rolling Stone, apparently.
So he's talking about this woman from 2 years ago, right? Because think about it. Now, he looked like the type of dude that was still smashing down when she was pregnant.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, remember, he had a girlfriend while she was pregnant. So he wasn't with her, but he had the girlfriend. But yes, of course, he was pretending he was going to go over there to give some help. I'm going to go to the doctor's appointment or whatever so he could roll up inside of her.
Yeah.
Right. No, he did say that they were together, but they were on the verge of breaking up. And then he got the other girlfriend. And that's how she got pregnant, that they were on the verge of breaking up.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Dibbling, dabbling. Yeah.
Listen, this is just a classic case of why won't you act right? And you know why he's scorned? Because she probably pregnant, right? Well, she got a kid, right? Got the kid, the 2-year-old, but she probably got with a dude that changed her life, right?
Mm.
Right?
And the power that WAP still compels him.
Yes, the power of and this is the problem. And see, this is the problem. And this is why I tell the congregation. This is why I tell the women in my congregation, right? This is what I tell the women in my congregation. The reason why you're here with me and there's no other men besides you is because your WAP ain't hitting on nothing. You got to take off them high jibs and the prayer cloths. And you got to get down there and get hot. You know what I'm saying? You can't be waiting until marriage, until Jesus or Muhammad comes, because it ain't going to work out for you. You see what I'm saying? And this man is living proof that WAP trumps over everything. And what you're hearing is his hurt, his discontent, because he can't get the WAP. He is a WAP addict. Yes, he is. He's a WAP addict. He needs to be on detox. He needs to be on detox. What he need, and the problem is that the women he getting, the WAP ain't hitting on nothing. They WAP ain't hitting on nothing. It's because I'm gonna tell you something. Men love hoes. Yes, we do.
That's true. That's true. No lies told, Reverend.
You remember that song, y'all? I got hoes. Yeah, right? They've been thinking about it.
I'm going to say this last thing right here. We will fly to other countries, sleep on dusty floors, buy kitchen appliances for hoes. But a good woman, we'll walk right past her. Pay her no attention.
Will he can go to slap your mama?
Well, nah, see, the problem is that he can come right in the Reverend's church. There's all these women here. There's a woman over here. You know what I'm saying? She is very good looking woman right here. There's a woman over here. She got them arms that make biscuits from scratch. She keep them fed and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? We got women all over the place, right? There's no shortages of women. You can go trip over a curb, but the problem is, at the end of the day, when you turn out them lights, do you make my toes curl up? Do you make me say I love you 20 times and then say it again? That you don't even got to do nothing. You just got to be there, and I just got to put it in, and I'm just melting like a Snicker ball on a hot summer day on a Georgia curb. Let's get it. We love hoes. That's it. That's what's wrong with them. He's got whole dependency. It's not even the WAP dependency. It's whole dependency. And what hurts his soul is that he wasn't man enough or laying down the pipe enough to get this woman in a position where now she's an activist. Now she's changed her life for the better. Now she's got her stuff together. She is out of her whole phase, and he was a part of the whole phase. He was a part of the whole phase, and she has a child, and she can't depend on him because he was just there for the WAP. And he is angry and upset and furious, and he gonna be talking about her for 13 more years. You know what I'm saying? Because he got a 10 and a 2-year-old. What's up with the 10-year-old mama? What's up with the 10-year-old mama?
We got a question from the chat. Okay. I think we should answer. I think, well, obviously, first we're going to get Bishop Pim Greasy to answer first. But, women, we can take a shot at it too. So, Sock Passa? Did I say that right? Passa? I don't know.
Sock Passe.
Sock Passe. All right. I had to try to do it right. Okay. The question is, why are they taking so many L's trying to wife him? See, that's a question, right? Now, he didn't phrase it as a question, but see, now, if men are just hoes and, whatever, then why are they taking so many L's trying to wife up women? So, because, let's be honest, right? There's a whole bunch of hoes out there, but every hoe eventually turns into a man who wants to be someone's husband, right? Why are they taking so many L's when it comes to trying to wife up women?
Well, because men are stupid, and I'm explaining it to you, right?
Wow.
I'm just giving it to you. Men are stupid, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you notice I did not mention that I have a first lady, right? I don't have a first lady because all the women in my congregations are first ladies. That's so 90s having a first lady.
That's
right?
so cultural.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
very
Like,
greasy.
No, but the reason
Okay.
the reason the Archbishop doesn't do this is because I'm gonna tell you why. Right? I can't be an adulterer if I don't got a wife, right? You know what I'm saying? I can fornicate to the high heavens, and then I can pray to God, and then I can forgive them sins.
That's a male whole logic. That's male whole logic.
Exactly, right? But see, what I'm explaining to you is this. This is why men take so many L's, right? Because we get into that phase of hunter, right? Hunters sit out there for hours on end. It's the thrill of the chase, right? We're working up our experience, right? And sometimes the laws of nature are unforgiving, such as child support. So you get out there and you got to figure it out, because women know to a certain extent what their weapons of defense are. They know their offensive weapons before we know what our offensive weapons are. We got to grow into it. We got to figure it out. And then once we figure it out, then when we get to a certain age, then we ain't shit. And we damn right we ain't shit. Because guess what? We were led by the nose since we started hitting puberty, and y'all had it. Right? Now we got it when we get adults. And then if you do it right, you meet the right person, and you don't fuck over the right person. It's about what you need versus what you want. And some people are just that stupid. And this dude right here, he decided to keep going for what he wanted, the WAP, and not going for what he need. Now he's sitting up there in a polyester suit, sweating, trying to keep his armpits down because he got the armpit stains underneath there because he ain't wearing the t-shirt underneath that shirt. And and look, you can tell he dyed his hair. He's trying to look younger than what he is, right? Look all that gray right there around his edges. Look all that gray right there. You know what I'm saying? That Duke
blonde hairs.
Yeah,
He's trying to look like Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, well,
Lord.
You know what he looked like? He looked like that little chubby light-skinned boy that was on B2K that was in the back nobody cared about.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The crazy one.
Yeah, the crazy one. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He looked like, what's the other dude that was on Soul Raven? That's what he looked like if he lost a little bit of weight.
Orlando Brown.
Yeah, Orlando Blue. No, not Blue. You're right.
Orlando Blue is white.
I know. I said too late.
Orlando Brown is brown.
Brown. Yeah.
Brown. I sorry, my bad. But you know what? Okay, listen. I'm gonna add to what you said. Okay, because here's the thing. There's a couple misnomers here I want to clarify. So they say you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. That's absolutely false, because every hoe eventually, honestly, most of them become housewives.
Right.
But you can't make a hoe who's currently in her hoe phase become a housewife right now, right? You can't make her ready to become a housewife.
You ready, right?
Right. But the things that are going to attract you, right, in your hoe face, right, when you haven't changed your thinking into that of a husband looking for a wife with wife qualities and wife energy. So you're not a husband, you're not putting out husband energy, nor are you, putting out husband feelers. You're still putting out hoe feelers. And then you're going to pull something in that looks perfect for your hoe face, and then try to change that woman into wife face. That's not going to happen until she is ready to do that. She's not going to do it. Right? And a lot of guys keep making that mistake because they honestly think that the thing that 100% pleases the head below their waist is the same thing that is going to please all their needs and wants as a husband, and as someone who wants to be the head of a family. Right? It's not the same thing. Because if you think about it, just from a common sense perspective, right? So you find a girl, she's in the shortest of short skirts, right? She's got the huge boobs and everything looks nice, and she's just sexy all the time, and she got time to do her hair and her makeup for hours, so she looks gorgeous all the time, and she has time to work out for 5 hours a day. She's gorgeous all the time, right? And you like that, and you want that. You want to acquire it. You want to keep it, and she happens to have a personality in there somewhere. Great, right? But think about that. That woman is currently in that phase of her life where she really wants to benefit from, her beauty. That's what she's doing right now. And you're currently the person who's benefiting her. But what you want to do is drop all of that, cover up all of that sexiness because you're mine. Why do you have to show it to the rest of the world? Because she was showing it to the rest of the world when she met you.
Right.
That's what she's doing.
That's what I'm betting. That baby mama, the second one, with all her accolades that she had on her Instagram or whatever social media, she also had, ass cheeks on the back.
A booty shot, right.
Of course. Right? And then you wonder, see, these women, all they do is cheat, all they do is lie, all they do is no. What you try to do is take a woman who clearly is not ready for commitment at all, who tells you as much, who tells you she's just trying to really get paid in life, right? Like, you're gonna take me to nice places, yeah, I'll rock with you. You're gonna take me on vacations 3 times a year, yeah, I'll rock with you. You're gonna get my hair and my nails done, yeah, I'll rock with you. You're gonna put me up in a nice loft, I'll rock with you. And as long as you keep that lifestyle going, I'll rock with you. Rock with you is not I'll marry you. Right? Like, stop getting it twisted.
I'm going to tell you, these men were given warnings. Nobody said it better than Belle Biv DeVoe. Never trust a big butt and a smile. These guys not only trusted the big butt and the smile, they got it pregnant and was like, oh, wait a minute. What happened now? Stop it.
And there's another term that's being thrown around in these spaces, in these YouTube streets, the placeholder. I've been hearing this a lot. And that's what these men are doing. Them babies are placeholders, because once you my baby mama, I'm gonna be able to come back whenever I want to.
Oh
yes.
No.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, some people really believe
have
that.
Not bought this womb just because you gave it a baby. If we are not together, it does not keep going on like that.
Hold on, wait a minute. What we doing this at? Man, what? Oh Lord!
Somebody let Pimp Breezy know.
She's in the wrong state.
Hold on, wait a minute.
No.
Wait a minute. What happened? Hold on, wait a minute. We doing this? Oh Lord, I can't consign to that. What happened to getting the fat girl in the back in the corner that nobody wanted to see you with at 2, 3 in the morning? That was the placeholder. She wouldn't get pregnant. You just come through. She give you a couple of dollars. You keep a 5. You keep a 5, right? It's like playing spades. You go board. You know what I'm saying? It's like you always keep a 5. That was the placeholder. Lord, yeah, keep a bottom. We ain't gonna say the B word. You keep a bottom broad on the team. Now they talking about bottom babies. Oh Lord, Lord. Listen, I used to try to feel sorry, but I can't consign to that. That's against pimp code. That is against pimp code.
What you're missing is this, right? So, and we have to be honest. Society has changed, right? Like, I think America's like 60% overweight, right? Like 30% of that is like morbidly obese. So let's be honest, right? It's not like back in the days where like the bottom 5% was really overweight and everyone else is mostly, you know, in the normal weight range. Like that's not how it is now. So the standards as far as, you know, the overweight girl or whatever, you don't have that standard anymore, right? Because Lizzo is now the overweight girl. You know, Lizzo can now make multi-millions off of her body. Right. So you don't have that same standard. So you can no longer say, well, because she's a big girl, she's going to have low self-esteem and low standards and she'll accept. No, that's not the way it works anymore. Nope. You can't you make that evaluation anymore.
Has changed, right?
Yeah, because ain't nobody, I'm sorry. Ain't nobody laying down with no Skeletor. Touching bones and pelvises and all of that. You know, give me a big girl before you give me one of them bones. And plus the big girl, you know, she can cook. You know, you can come over, you lay it down and she give you a plate, put you to sleep.
I have to stop you there too. I have to stop you there because that is not true. A lot of people are overweight because all they eat is McDonald's and Burger King and Papa John's, and they can't cook a lick.
Yep.
Lord.
Times have changed. Because before, right, if you were living in poverty, you didn't live close enough to McDonald's where you could eat it 6 days a week. Let's be real, right? We're talking about a long time ago, right? Things have changed. Now it is cheaper in America. Yeah, now it's actually cheaper in America for you to feed your family from McDonald's 3 times a day, your whole family, than it is for you to just cook a meal. Like it's actually expensive as hell in America. Now, that's not even talking about the fact that there are the whole grocery deserts where you have a lot of communities who have to travel long distances to see a grocery store that has fresh food in it, right? So these days, actually, people are going to become, it's so much easier to get overweight, especially if you are in a lower income neighborhood, because your access to the food around you at best is from the bodega, which has a bunch of crap. Right? Like it doesn't have fresh this and tomatoes and no, right? So I mean, unfortunately, it's not like before. It used to be like, oh man, that she makes a lot of stuff with Crisco and heavy creams and heavy sauces and and so that's why she's overweight and that's why I'm going to become overweight when I marry her. That it's not like that anymore. Passive. I'm sorry.
Oh,
those are the olden days.
You know what? This is I'm having a seminary school. All y'all young niggas crying about the WAP, come on down, right? I can set you up with a storefront church, get you about 10 women's in there. You won't have nothing to worry about. You be beating them off with a stick. And this is Pastor's only thing. If you pray to Jesus while you're hitting that poom poom, everything feels the same. Praise Jesus, praise the congregation, praise him. You know what I'm saying? And in the
I tell y'all about ratios, I told y'all about ratios.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
They do not differentiate.
No, they don't. Listen, I'm gonna tell you. Listen. A skinny dude with abs is like a big girl with titties. It gotta happen. And if you arch your back and you bend over a certain way, everybody got an ass. Let the Lord say amen. Thank y'all. I'm going to step down. Y'all have a good evening. Sister, get off the pole. I told you we got people watching. Thank you. I'm sorry. I had to go check it. Y'all have a good evening.
You two push the passer.
He is a mess.
A hot mess.
Like some more of this high value man here. Let's see what he got.
How to get her pregnant? Did you have sex with her?
I don't recall.
You don't recall. Now, Justin, you know you're full of shit right now, right?
Yeah. Right now, that was a joke.
Now, at this moment, we're gonna call it what it is. Now, you came on. You look handsome. You look good. Okay. You came on clean cut. And I had a lot of hopes for you. But you got a lot of shit with you, Justin.
Ain't a lot of shit. My shit in the past. The thing is, you want a guy to be upfront with you and tell you, look, it's 2 + 2, which equals 4. You're going to take it or accept it. Or you want a guy to come on live and lie. Then later you find out, oh, he ain't shit. Everybody got something that.
So is he saying, let me go and tell you I'm not nothing now?
Right.
Yeah, let me let you know up front I ain't shit. Like, okay, wait a minute.
Okay, I was just wondering. I just wondering where he's going now.
That's what I heard.
I found it interesting. The language he used was, "That's in the past." That was very interesting language. He said that was in the past. So your baby mom and your child and the last woman you had, that's just considered in the past. That's your history. That helps people tell us what the future is going to be.
Mhm.
Right.
So
Because if
what
he's
is he
saying your
just
child is in the past, clearly he's not active in that kid's life.
it's something else. I mean, you have to listen. That's why one thing I said, when you ask questions, that's when it gets sticky. When they get the hemming and the humming, you can have a panel, and we've all seen this. There's several panels going on for hours, but no one is asking or answering, I'll put it that way, specific questions.
Right.
But they have a list of talking points. That works out fine. They just go through the list. But if you ask questions to narrow down what happened, um, why are you saying the things that you're saying because you had experience in it, then we can kind of, it's more believable. It's like, oh, okay, I see why you said that because your experience, blah, blah, blah. But a lot of guys are not having that. They're just repeating things that they're saying. And this is just more of it. And I just want to point that out to the audience so you can see that. We'll play a little bit more. Let's see, where's the darn thing? Oh, here it is.
You want to call baggage or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm upfront with mine. This is what it is. Either you like it, you take it or not. At the end of the day, it's gonna be advantages over there.
What's the advantages of being with you, Justin?
Fun and exciting.
So he says you get with him, it's going to be fun and excitement. How does that work?
Well, yeah, you are. It was very exciting, exhilarating, and could be fun depending on how messed up you are when someone pulls a gun on you, right? It's kind of like one of those real life escape the room games, right? But like in your own living room. You don't even have to go anywhere. To like, how are you going to escape this situation, Batman? Right? Very exciting and fun depending on what you're into.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Anyone want to comment on that before I continue?
No, I think that's pretty self-explanatory.
Right? Y'all know he ain't
Okay.
doing shit else. Come on now. He ain't trying to bring you on vacation or anything like that. Y'all know he ain't doing nothing else. He's
No.
creating drama to trigger you so some crazy explosive crap can happen that the police probably will get called because the neighbors are going to be scared for somebody, and then y'all get to have explosive makeup sex. That's his fun.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Fun and exciting.
We'll just leave it.
Now, is it your goal to meet a woman and settle down? Is that your goal?
Yeah, of course.
But you got two cases. You left one girl, left or whatever. But you got a girl pregnant and you didn't decide to be with her, and now you're suing your last girlfriend. Not saying she didn't deserve it, but those are two big red flags, don't you think?
If somebody steals $8,000 worth of stuff, then pawns it, then fake like you're harassing them, put police reports in on you like you're harassing them when you're trying to get your stuff back, then take it a step further, they go put an order of protection out on you or try to put one on you, but the case don't get, it gets denied. You go all the way up to it goes to trial, and you don't show up to trial because it was all bullshit. And you go far as lying. Everything was lied just so you cannot go to jail. The only reason why she didn't go to jail was because COVID happened. Otherwise, she'd be locked up. So at this point, you owe me some money, and I want my money back.
I'm not gonna blame you for anything, but why did she steal from you? Do you have a reason why?
Child on the way. So, but we were done. She didn't know I had a child on the way, but we were done. We didn't date. We only dated like 3 months. I was done with it. I don't owe you an explanation like she told me. I don't owe you shit. Okay, fine, then I don't owe you shit. So don't ask for an explanation. Where's my stuff? Run my shit back.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I did. Well, yeah, I chose in the beginning, but I found out she was a fraud. I found out she was a fake. She was lying about everything. She wanted on Instagram. She fronts on Instagram, but then you on child support. I mean, not child support. You know, food stamps, unemployment, but then you go on Instagram how you're.
Yeah, there's so many holes.
Okay, wait a minute. Now he just said that but then she found out I had a baby on the way. So this fool is not even talking about the woman that got the 2-year-old with him.
No, it was the girlfriend he was with while the 2-year-old's mama was pregnant.
But this is not the 10-year-old baby mama.
No.
You know what? Okay. All right.
That's why I said I wanted to go back, because it was so much and it did get confusing, because, you know, we had people talking, then we stop it and stuff. But let me get you up to date.
His penis is confused.
He's talking about 2 different women. The child mom is the one he has the 2-year-old with. He said he needed his freedom. She pulled guns on him multiple times, and he dibbled and dabbled. That's how she got pregnant.
Oh, Lord.
Then the woman that he dated while her his baby mama was pregnant, he only dealt with her for 3 months.
He is a sack of bad decisions.
Yep. Yep. That's what he is.
And
he doesn't have anything else.
He keeps choosing the wrong woman. He got to sue him. He don't want to be with the baby's mamas. What's wrong?
He ain't worth a damn. No, okay. I'm gonna be fair. Listen, people need therapy and accountability, and often people need A to get to B. He is someone who has been told his whole entire life, right, that men don't have to take accountability for their bad actions or the way that those actions impact others, right? So it's not his fault that this seemingly normal chick went psycho on his ass because he started cheating on her, brought her home a bunch of STDs when she was 2 months pregnant. It's not his fault she went psycho, right? Because chicks should know, these chicks be crazy, and chicks know, you know, men gotta sow their seed, He's one of those annoying people, right? So he has no accountability for his actions or how his actions impact other people. And that's why he needs therapy. Like, he really does. He needs to sit steeped in therapy, and he needs to be told he can't have those like friends anymore. I don't know if he has bad, associations with family. He needs to cut off everyone and just be re-educated on life and manhood, because I don't think he understands either of those two concepts really well. And that's why he's sitting here fronting in this shirt, thinking that a collared shirt is going to make him look like a high value man, and we're not going to see everything else, right? Because it pulls him.
Yeah, he just looks like he's just trying to project a certain image, but the more he tells his story, it just like strips off each, layer. And it's like, dude, do you know how you really look?
Nope.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't at all.
That's
no, exactly. He doesn't know, because for him, this collared shirt and stuff, that's enough to fool him, right? So that's why he thinks if you just, no, I'm serious. That's why he thinks if he just puts on the collared shirt, he puts on that jacket, and he puts the little pocket square in there, right? Then that's going to fool everyone, because that's what fools him, right? And he's trying to fake it till he makes it. And that tells you exactly how low on the, the socioeconomic totem pole he actually really is. Right? Because people who are truly, I'm not even gonna say high value, people who earn a lot of money, who are about, like I'll say they're grounded in their masculinity, so they found their purpose and they're about building a legacy, right? They do not endanger their life and their legacy the way he does with reckless abandon. They don't, right? People who have that high level in life, right? You can tell by their movements, by their actions, even when they are whores, right? The kind of high quality hoeing that they're taking part in is different, right? They have all kinds of most of the drama that you hear about is when they got her pregnant and now she's trying to get child support of $10,000 a year. But as far as all this drama, she's pulling guns on him and all that crazy stuff, they don't do that. They're not trying to accidentally die because some chick's crazy, right? Like, they're not trying to do that.
Right. And again, I go back to the same thing, like, because if he's really making this amount of money, whatever industry you're in, there's got to be women there, right? Like,
Thank you.
why aren't
We have
you
jobs.
meeting women that are on your level where you're being quote unquote tricked by some chick on the internet that's lying about what she does and she's really on welfare and getting food stamps? It makes no sense.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
Wow.
Clutch your pearls, Vonda, because
Uh-oh.
there's more.
Oh my goodness. Okay, let me take
What a
another step.
successful
Just give me
business
1
woman.
second.
Really? How you are influencing women to be great. What? Great on food stamps and government assistance? That's what great is?
No,
Okay,
you
but
drunk
real quick,
loser.
you didn't think if you were dating a girl, she needed to know you had a baby on the way?
Deer in headlights.
Because that could be tricky because how does she know you didn't get the girl pregnant while y'all were together? I think if you're dating someone, that's worthy information to say, oh, by the way, I have a baby coming. I think she had the right to know that.
Once you cross a certain threshold, yeah, we never crossed that.
Well, you dated for 3 months. You don't think at least 5 months?
I'm sweating with all these questions.
But
Say
you
again?
Feel like I'm on.
Okay.
So you got me over here sweating with all these questions. Feel like I'm on trial.
Well, I mean, because listen, I'm not going to take away from what the women did, but you're doing something to attract that type of woman.
So you're got a woman that's pregnant, and you not telling me, and I gotta cross a threshold. What threshold is that?
Thank
Because
you.
if she's 8 months pregnant, and we're starting to date, when are you going to tell me the birth of the child?
Yeah, when we had a date and you broke the date because she went into labor, her water broke.
Right.
It's like, I mean, come on, dude.
Oh no, y'all didn't hear him? He just told you. She's on welfare, she's on food stamps, so she ain't worth a damn. So she's not getting my commitment no how. That's what he said, right?
Did
Because
you put your
basically,
baby? No, that wasn't the one he put the baby in.
no, this is what I'm saying though, right? But he could, because obviously he raw dogs everyone he sleeps with. So
I believe that.
right now the thing is, and I want to be really clear on this, is he thinks that himself coming from the ghetto, because that's what he said. I swear he said that at the beginning. If he didn't, I'm just extrapolating because it's very obvious he did. Now, him coming from the ghetto, right? He is claiming he's worked himself up to where he is now. He's accomplished something bigger and better than he was born into. Right? But a woman who has ever fallen on hard times and requires any form of government assistance, which by the way, she's paid into her whole life with her taxes and will continue to pay into until she dies, right? She ain't shit. She'll never be about shit. She'll never be worth anything, and she doesn't deserve nothing from nobody. Right? Like, that's really what he said. He had the nerve to say that about anyone. Anybody. Like, really? Dude, you like to play with girls who point guns at you. That gets you all hot and bothered, makes you want to raw dog them and shoot all the shoot up the club, right? Like, are you crazy? But she ain't worth a damn. Really? Okay.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Hypocrite. There's so much hypocrisy in this man. And that's why he's sweating buckets. That's why he's sweating. But well, that and the fact that he can't afford AC, because again, nothing about him is high earning, high value, nothing, right?
But we also can't skip over the fact that you could tell he's lying. Like I said, there's so many holes in his stories. And listen to what he said. Oh, you're making me feel like I'm on the hot seat here. Yeah, because the more questions,
Yeah, that's why he's sweating like a runaway slave.
Right, the story unravels. He hasn't thought this far into the damn story. For her asking all these questions, he's got to start making shit up on the fly. It's not true. He's not telling the whole truth.
And then the dots don't connect, and it's like, okay, the longer he talks, the deeper the hole gets for this fool. He talking.
Exactly. Yeah. That's how you know the spaces he found, and that's how you know the echo chamber he was in, right? Because you are only in a specific kind of echo chamber that accepts what he said with no challenge, without question, and then champions you. And that's what he's used to. He was not expecting any of this. He really wasn't. He just thought he would be, oh, you poor man. Yeah, black women ain't shit these days. That's what he was expecting, because that's all he's ever gotten in response.
You know
right?
what this sounds like? It just sounds like, okay, just to me, if I was just sitting here and, I didn't know anything about these people and, I was just any person other than a black person and I would just listen, it would sound to me like this is a man who expects to have, raw sex with women, but does not expect any type of consequences. He doesn't deserve, the woman that he's, giving the raw peen to, basically none of the women that he's dealing with are special because they all get raw peen. All of them get raw peen. None of them, he don't strap it up with nobody. So all of them are equal in regards to them all getting raw peen. So it doesn't sound like any of these women are special. So it's like they're just there for him. And when they don't act accordingly, that's when there's a problem. That's when there's a problem. But he's not complicit in anything. He's not complicit in anything. This one's crazy. This one's on food stamps. This one pulled a gun on me. And it's like, oh.
Yeah, no, he doesn't see women as special. He's the special one.
Right. He's special.
They all deserve to get his raw peen that he's giving to everybody, apparently.
Well, let's see what else he got for us.
Some more raw peen.
That's only two women.
But they're two significant things. One pregnant that you wasn't with, another one you suing.
Well, me and her dated for 3 years, so all my relationships have been years. Okay, so multiple years.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna stop grilling you. Maybe there's a female who wants to get to know you better. Do you have an age range that you want to date?
As long as she's legal.
As long as she's legal. So 21 is fine with you?
Oh yeah, 18 to 21 for sure.
Requirements, yeah.
And what are your requirements again? Oh, you just said you didn't really have any requirements.
I did, as long as she's honest and loyal.
Honest and loyal. Does she have children?
She got to be a hell of a woman to have a child.
You have 2 kids.
That's different.
How?
Because the man usually is the provider, right? So I got to pay for her kids.
Okay.
It's like so gross. I can't even.
He never got a solution. They just say, don't date a woman with no kids. That's, floating around the street. But the why, no one gave him a why. So he had to come up with something. That was it. Because I'm the man, I got to pay for the kids. But I'm going to play a few more seconds. He's going to give you a little bit more ludicrous.
Okay.
Ain't no trophy in being a stepfather. So I ain't saying she can't have a kid.
You have 2 kids that she would be a stepmom to.
Yeah,
and
what?
How you know she want to deal? Like, there's women who have no children. So if a woman that has no kids, you're fine with her saying, I don't want to date you because you have 2 kids. That you would understand that.
Ain't no problem. There's plenty of women that do or will.
I just think, the men these days, there's single moms out there just like you, because you're a single dad, because you're not, well, the kids don't live with you, so it's a little different. But it really bothers me that men are looking like, I'm not dating a woman with kids when you have kids yourself.
But that's the thing. If we dating, you have 2 kids, they gonna be in the house with me. I'm be waking up, seeing your kids more than I see my own kids, putting their book bag on, taking them to school,
your
right?
Choice.
So,
okay, all right. So why don't you stay at your apartment then? What you mean you waking up at her? No, but listen, he said I gotta wake up and see your kids.
Oh God!
So there can't be a way that she can come visit you, or you can meet in another place. For your sexual experiences. I'm just throwing it out there.
But that also goes to show you that this fool ain't in no type of, regular contact with his kids. If he's seeing a woman who's actually caring for her kids as a freaking burden, but he's free and easy to give his raw peen to random women, and the kids are with these other women, his baby mamas. He done made baby mamas, but the woman he's messing with is quote unquote a baby mama, and he feels like that's beneath him because the kid's there and I gotta share time. You know what?
Yeah, it's a mess.
And that's the whole placeholder thing, because he expects other men to think like this, because he's been
That's a
around
problem.
these spaces where nobody's gonna want my baby mama, so I could go back to them whenever I want. But I don't want another. I don't want a woman with kids, because I don't want another man having that same access because she has a child by somebody else. That's the thought process.
Yeah, that's a thought process over these people who are failing at survival of the fittest. I'm gonna tell y'all science, okay? Because research, tons and tons and tons and tons of research has been done on this exact same thing, and hypothesis, not just like in our current modern society, but like over the last 10,000 years. How do humans work? So I'll tell you. Okay. When you talk about there's no trophy for being a stepfather, well, it depends actually on what your objective rating would be to women as far as the genetic indication she would get from you. So that's your looks and your power within groups of other men, because she's evaluating that, because that tells her how much you could protect her and what your future would be with her and whatever, right? So if you're like an 8 to a 10, okay, fine, maybe there's not a trophy, but for like everyone else there is. I'm going to explain what the trophy is. Okay, so I'm a woman. Obviously, I'm a woman, right? But let's say I'm somewhere between a 7 and a 9. I'm a woman, and I have a kid or two with my ex, and now I'm looking for something a little more deep, a little more substantive. I got with my ex when I was in my early 20s. Now I'm in my late 20s, early 30s, right? And I'm looking for a guy. And I'm looking for something real. I'm looking for love. I'm looking for stability and whatever. And now, because the guys complain about this all the time, but I want y'all to understand something. If this woman, right, the 7 to 9, ever got to her early 30s and she was single with no kids and just as attractive as she always was, that guy who's an average earner, who's an average in looks, has no chance with her. But guess what? If she's got the kids and he's an amazing husband and an amazing father and has shown that, he is more than willing to create an amazing family dynamic for them, she will not only be with that man, she will give that man a couple of kids, a couple of high quality, high genetic kids that he wouldn't have gotten had he not chosen to be a stepfather. So I'm just saying, and I'm not just saying this as my personal opinion.
No.
I'm saying they've actually literally proven this across research, that this is how, and guys have been, they knew that this is what, I'm a 3 or a 4, I don't have a lot of special skills, so maybe at most I'll ever make is $60,000 a year, but I'm a man with a good heart. And then they get a little bit older and they're in their mid-late 30s and they can get themselves a banging chick, but she's got a kid or two. But that's the trade-off. That's a trade-off. There's a trade-off for everything.
But I see a problem in that only because it's like the pot calling the kettle black. First of all, this dude has 2 kids, which they are not in his custodial possessions. He does not have the kids. So he is free and clear to swing his raw peen to whoever he'd like without any, thing going on. We don't know what the visitation is with these 2 kids by 2 different women. So he has the audacity to say, but if I get with a woman that has kids, I'm gonna wake up with that kid, because this woman's taking care of her kids. You fucking idiot. She's taking care of her kids. The kids are with her, because if it's anything like you, the dad is somewhere else screwing some other woman with some raw peen that got kids and got to complain about it. It's like, dude, you're not making any sense. You have 2 kids with 2 different women, yet you don't want to deal with a woman who has kids because she's taking care of her kids. But I bet if her kids live with her mama, you'd be all up in it, living with her and everything else.
No, because you see, here's the thing, Vonda. This dude, right, is in that 4 to 6 range, right? But his whole entire life, he's been a wannabe 9. right? Like that's what he is. He's a wannabe 9, right? He wants to portray the fact that he's super attractive to women. He wants to portray he's got the money. He wants to portray he's got the connections. So he doesn't live in his own reality, right? And so as a failed 9, he lives under the delusion, right, that he has 9 options, right? He doesn't have 9 options. He should not be evaluating the world with 9 standards, right? Like he shouldn't be. But he's delusional, right? And he lives under that delusion to protect himself from the truth. That's what he's doing. He's lying to himself. And he thinks that lying to himself, he's done it convincingly enough all these years. If he lies to everyone else, they'll just believe him. Right? Like he doesn't realize we're just looking at him.
And I have to disagree just a little bit, Ruby. Because I think to the pool of women that he's selecting from, he is a 9. To very low level, superficial, out of their freaking mind women. He is a 9 to them. Which is why he's not getting anybody that's stable and has good a damn sense.
Right. I guess, okay, well, I'm saying objective 9, right? So, because I'm looking at the objectivity, right? Even if the chick was crazy, but if the world looked at her and objectively she's a 9, right? Then people would be like, yeah, but she's crazy, but goddamn, she's fine, right? I kind of get it, right? I don't think anyone's saying that about the women who have dated him. Like, she's crazy, and why are you putting up with that, brah? Like, that's what people say to him about the women who are choosing him. But the women, right? The women are like, yo, he's really good looking for me. He's like a couple of numbers above me, right? And so that's good looking for me. I'm happy with that. For me, that's a 9 because it's like really high as far as, you know, when I'm not even talking about his earnings or whatever, I'm talking about his looks, right? Because we have to be honest in the world. In the world, we have a whole range of looks, right? And it used to be that 7s dated 7s and 6s dated 6s and 4s dated 4s and 9s dated 9s. That's how it used to be. Well, actually, really 9s and 10s just the world owns them, right? Like the streets own them, the world owns them, and everyone's going to take care of them because they're 9s and 10s. And I'm talking about on both sides. So it used to be, we used to not jump very high up or above ourselves, right? And we were content with that. But we stopped being content with that as a society, right? It doesn't matter where objectively you even know you lay, right? You still want a 9. Everyone wants a 9 and everyone wants to be a 9. Right? There's no more objectivity in dating anymore, right? Everything is subjective. Everything is this, everything is that. And we're not willing to just kind of be honest and be like, okay, but let's pretend that, okay, this person they're a few steps above you and they're going to date you. But we have to be honest that there's probably a trade-off with this person if they're willing to go 3 or 4 steps underneath them. Right. Is that trade-off worth it? Because if it's not worth it, then don't do it. Like, just don't do it. The trade-off's not worth it with this guy. It's not.
The more he talks, the more and more he seems like, oh no, you dodge a bullet if you didn't accept, his friend request. He sounds like a sack of problems.
Yeah,
right. He is.
Yes.
He sounds like a sack of problems, and it's like, dude, you don't know yourself because of the way that you're navigating through your life right now. You shouldn't be on anybody's dating app. You shouldn't be dating people. You should be actually working on getting your shit together, raising the 2 existing children you have. And how about keeping your raw peen in your pants?
Right, exactly. And
it's like it's just not good. Come on, dude.
Who is beating down his door for this? First, they got to deal with him, and that is enough. But then you got a crazy baby mama that pulls guns on people. Like, who wants that?
Right?
Fun and excitement.
Who is lining up for that?
I don't know.
Nobody. And I'm sorry, these types of chicks that he's talking about, you cannot tell me this is your average regular chicks that work a job every day, have shit to lose, they pulling guns and it's like, dude, who are these
right
women? And you're gonna say you picked the cream of the crop, and and they just happen to be just low level women. You didn't make that choice.
He's definitely picking the same exact women that he claimed he don't want.
Yeah.
Those are the women he's getting, these bottom of the barrel women that, like you said, don't have nothing to lose. They probably don't have much of nothing going on for themselves. They just maybe cute. Maybe we don't even know what they look like. I'm hoping they might be cute.
This is true, Neat, because they may not even be cute, and this dude out
I
there
don't think so.
just swinging peen, just like.
Listen, they ain't cute. Whatever he says his standards are, they're the opposite of that, right? So if he says he only talks to like beautiful faced women, they ugly. If he says he only talks to women who are thin and fit, they fat. And I'm not trying to say that those are terrible things. I'm just saying that I think that everything he says out loud is a projection of what he would like to have, not about what he's already had. Right? I think he has exactly the opposite of everything he says. And to be honest with you, I don't think he's happy when he gets, like, I think he might have dated actually a pretty girl or two in his time, a fit girl or two in his time, a non-crazy girl or two in his time. And I bet you found them great, so boring. And oh God, they're so dry toast. And, you know, these chicks have no passion. Oh, these chicks, he's one of those guys, right? He says he wants something he doesn't really want.
No, I disagree with that too. I think he might have picked up a couple of those type of women, and after spending about an hour with him, they were like, "Oh hell no,
Wrong move. Nope,
one date. That's it. One date. And that was it. She asked a few questions, and she was thinking, "Okay, this will be the last time I'm going out with him."
Right, right. I think, like I said, anybody with 2 working brain cells, he would be an immediate fucking turn off. Excuse my language, but no.
Okay, I think that's fair, but I'm gonna say this, right? I would find him an immediate turn off. I found him an immediate turn off before you press play, just seeing his image there. But with that being said, I'm gonna say for some people, right? Because you're like, okay, well, the dating experience and whatever, he's not the kind of guy who says and does outlandish stuff off jump. He does stuff to try to trigger you into doing outlandish stuff so he can respond. That's the kind of person he is, right? And it starts off small normally, right? And it starts off in baby steps. He triggers them in baby steps and gets them to build up to the level of insanity he really wants. That's what I think. So that's why I think that he could have dated a totally normal, pretty chick before, because she might have seen the standoffishness and some of the arrogance as, oh, well, you know, high value, I guess, you know, he's worth a lot of money. And so you attribute some of that stuff at first, you know, erroneously to his position in life until you figure out later he doesn't have that position, right? But you don't know that at first. Right? People get fooled all the time.
See, no, that's why I still say I disagree, because let's say just out of us sitting here, right? Say you somehow, by some misfortune, end up on a date with a dude like this.
Oh God.
Oh God.
Your normal thing, as a normal conversation, you're gonna ask questions, and we already see he cannot handle being asked questions.
He's sweating like a runaway slave as he is.
You sweating, you fidgeting, you do it like that's all gonna be a red flag. Like, what the hell? Like, what's wrong? We're just having a conversation.
You're not the first 48 hours. Chill out.
No, you know what the difference is, y'all, though? In real life, when he goes on a date, he just lies, right? You have any kids? No. Right? He's not gonna answer the question. He just lies.
I could see him saying no. I could see him saying
that's why I laugh, because you know I can see him saying that shit. Right?
And you know that's terrible.
He said he didn't tell the woman about the baby because she wasn't worthy of that information. So he's clearly not above saying no.
Yep. Exactly. He's the kind of guy who says no. If it's uncomfortable or he thinks you're going to have a bad response to it, he just lies. And then you find out later. And that's why people are pulling guns on him, because he's a liar and he's disloyal, right? But he claims he's about certain things he's not. And then he drives you crazy, right? And then you find out the big reveal after big reveal after big reveal. And that's why these chicks go crazy. That's why they're pulling guns on him, right? Like, for real. Like, I'm not trying to co-sign the behavior. I'm just saying, right? Like, come on.
Okay, let's play some more. That's a good one.
But this is the thing. If we dating, you have 2 kids, they gonna be in the house with me. I'm be waking up, seeing your kids more than I see my own kids, putting their book bag on, taking them to school, right?
Okay.
So when I feed them, that's money out of my child's mouth. So I got to deal with
money out of your child's mouth. I mean, if you're getting, first of all, if the kids don't live with you, that's your problem, not her problem.
Hello.
Women get custody more than men.
Did you try to get custody of your children?
No.
Doing that Doing that right now.
So
In the process.
Any of them,
So you're in
fool.
the process of trying to get full custody of your children?
Yeah, well, my son's coming to live with me because he's up in age, so he's 10. So
Okay, so now you have that. Now a woman has to, now no longer this child's with you. So a woman has to accept you being a single dad with your child living with you. What's the difference?
Cricket.
Just say your 10-year-old child's moving in with you.
once again, the man, typically the man takes care of the household, right? He's the
Where?
provider, right?
What men?
So a
Where?
woman just comes in and
Yes.
does what?
Works,
What
cooks,
household
cleans.
She makes your
talking
life
about?
better if you're lucky. You'll be lucky to get
Right.
a woman. Because what you should know, you should, if anything, from the track record of the women you just told us about, you should pray to God you get a great woman. Because you just described 2 women that you dealt with that kind of making your life hell. You got one with a baby with that you wasn't with. You got one you got to sue. So you should appreciate a good woman more than any man watching right now.
He don't
And
know
they
a
both
good
was trying to
woman.
marry me. So that's, like I said, that's not an issue if I have
But
2
no,
kids.
but it's not about. It's not. I'm not talking about marriage. I'm talking about a woman of substance, a woman that you can know that wouldn't bring that type of drama. Type of woman that if she found out you was pregnant would just leave and not steal. Because a lot of women would be like, "Oh, you have a baby on the way. Have a nice life," and then walk away. Doesn't steal anything. Doesn't cuss you out. You're not in courtroom. If you get a woman like that, you would be lucky. And what I'm saying is the type of woman that you have described, the way you described them, they wasn't worthy. So you should really appreciate if you get blessed with a worthy woman that would take on your bullshit. Because you come in with a lot of shit, whether you know it or not.
Never said I want to come in. We all come in with something. So let's not, like all these people.
Now it's we all come in
one
with
before somebody else. So the thing is, I'm a traditional man. I believe in traditional roles. Most women, especially black women, want a traditional man. Then they want to be a modern woman. Those 2 things cannot coexist. Okay. So you're shaking your head, but you know it's true.
No, this is what I'm saying. Like, I feel like it. What makes me sad, I'm gonna be honest, because I know you must. If you came on my show after Kevin Samuels, you watch Kevin Samuels. I'm not gonna spend too much time on that, but I really feel like he is brainwashing so many men that can be great men, and you're gonna miss out. You can keep following that road if you want to, but you're gonna miss out on a good woman because those men. Hold on, you could have married those 2 women, but those women, the way you described, they ain't worthy of talking about. The kind of woman you would like to marry may not want to marry you.
Why do you think I left? Then the second one, I was leaving, and that's when everything unraveled.
Right, but you're not hearing what I'm saying. There's plenty of quality women that would just simply say they're not gonna steal shit from you. They're gonna be like, "Oh, you had a baby on way. You didn't tell me that. Have a nice life," and walk away. And that's the kind of woman you should pray for.
That would have been the womanly thing to do. Plus, it's more story.
Out there like that, not attracting that kind of woman.
You got the short story. It's about to be a movie made up on this situation anyway. So I'm not going to go too much deep into it. So
I guess what I'm saying is that yes, everybody comes from shit, but it really is starting to aggravate.
A movie made out of this.
Right. He's delusional.
Oh my God, dude.
He's propping himself up. Like, who the hell is making a movie about your baby mama drama? Like, stop.
He drunk already?
Stop.
What is he drinking?
Scotch or something like that.
He's drinking Bacardi or E&J. He's not drinking no damn scotch. He's drinking
bottom barrel, that's for sure.
Liquor to go with his bottom of the barrel women.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh yeah. Come on now. Let's be real, right? Because and she makes a fair point, which I did a video on it, right? And should men see your kids as baggage? And I reviewed a conversation that happened on Facebook, right? And women were all up in arms when the men said it, but I said, I see men's kids as baggage. I don't want them, right? I don't want your outside kids. I don't. So that was a big factor for me. I'm not dating anyone with kids because I didn't have kids outside of my relationship with you, right? I wanted to have a cohesive household. That was a big motivating factor for me. So while I admire you for being a great father, if you are, but it's not for me, right? So for him to sit here with this delusion that he thinks it's perfectly okay and masculine for him to not only hide the fact that he has a child on the way, right? And lie about it, but to not claim his own kid on the way. That's all very masculine, attractive behavior, right? But for her to react poorly to the news that she's been lied to and deceived and started building something with someone all on a house of lies, oh, that wasn't very feminine of her to do. What? But you're the leader, bro, aren't you? Aren't you all, oh, the man, da, 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 da. Okay, so then if you're old school, then you're the leader. You're the head of the household. That means a woman's following your lead. So if you're going to act like an immature ass clown, then she's going to follow your lead. If you're going to act like a respectable, mature, grounded adult, then she's going to follow your lead. Isn't that what he's saying? Never mind the fact that I don't know what the hell planet he lives on with his broke ass, that somehow or another, the average majority household is that men work and pay all the bills and women sit on their asses at home and take care of the kids. Where is this happening in the majority of the Western world? Where's that happening? How does he keep using that like that's ever been his experience?
Yeah, but that's just a norm. That's a norm. That is nobody's norm on the average.
Where?
Hey,
I don't know.
Come on now. This is YouTube. Everyone's six figures. Come on.
You're right, Char. I'm sorry. You're right.
But the thing is, too, again, with these stupid talking points, what part of him is traditional? That's
none. Raw King all through the club. None. There's nothing that's traditional about that. Raw King is only traditional with your wife.
Mm-hmm.
What about black? The women want a traditional man, but they want to be modern women. Well, you're a traditional man. Where? How? Explain that.
And she's modern because she has to have a job because you're not giving her the money for the child support for the kids you gave her.
Mm-hmm. Right. And then she doesn't have a job because she wants to be home with her kids, so she's on welfare and food stamps, and she ain't shit and doesn't deserve leadership.
Sorry too. She's still sorry.
Yeah. Right? You can't win. And then, if she had the abortion somewhere she didn't have the kids, well, then she ain't shit either.
His kid.
Right.
It's
like, you know what? The woman is just better off not even dealing with your ass because it don't matter what she does. You got an answer for it while you're not accountable for it.
Right.
Exactly.
It's bull.
She's terrible and you're not accountable. So it just works out that way. Right? Like what? Perpetual victimhood. It's amazing.
He has his talking points ready. I'll play a little bit more.
Maybe that men are, counting women out for the flaws that they have themselves. If a woman has a child and you have a child, it makes no sense to me how you would not be willing to date her. And then also, hold on, there's plenty of women who might not be like my mother and my father weren't together, but my father was a provider. Whoever my mother dated never had to worry about me financially in any way. So I don't understand that. Like the child could have a daddy that's taking care of him, so you don't got to worry about him being your quote unquote bill.
I've done the stepdaddy. Okay, took care of 2 kids. There's no trophy in that. Now you got to deal with their mouth. You got to deal with a man walking into their life when they grown and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? I've been in a situation, so I'm speaking on facts. Other people they speaking about what looks great on the wall. Okay, I'm speaking about going through a situation. All right. So, y'all could keep your fucking comments because I don't really give a fuck about what y'all say. But the other thing, like I was saying, it has nothing to do about being provided. Blended families are a hard situation. They add on the pile to your own shit. Because the thing is, in a traditional relationship, the man is the head, right? So if your son gets disrespectful at 15, 16, and I can't discipline, will you allow your man to discipline your kid? He can pay for him, but can he discipline him? Most women would say no.
Listen, you know what? Here's the deal. If you don't want to date a woman with children, stop.
I said she got to be a hell of a woman.
So what is a hell of a man? What is hell of a woman?
Thank you.
Okay, so if you barely making it, then you say, "Oh, I got 2 kids, 3 kids, by 3 different baby daddies." Kind of like a strike off. I mean, it's like a point off.
You got 2 different baby mamas?
Thank you.
Who said I got 2?
Are they both?
You did.
Woman?
No, but y'all putting stories.
Exactly. No, you said it. Because that's why we know.
Backpedal and pussy pop. Stop.
Really? He outrightly said it.
He said I had 2. Stop it, dude. You told your whole little funky story at the beginning, and now when you're being questioned about it because your story lines up with the very women who you say you don't want to be with, now it's like, oh, who said that was my story? Cut it out.
Like, hey, first of all, you did. Second of all, now you're gonna try to say people are just putting words in your mouth when they're saying stuff that you can't deny is a fact about you. It's not like you don't have 2 different baby mamas, so you could be like, no, they're both with the same woman. No, you said it. We remembered it. We repeated it back to you. Now you're gonna say people are putting words in your mouth, and he's gonna walk away and say that to you. She was putting words in my mouth. Remember when she said that I had 2 baby mamas when I hadn't said that? Do you? Yeah, but still. Like, what?
Because when he originally said it, he didn't think it sounded as stupid. But the more and more he got questioned, now he wants to backpedal and pussy pop because it's like, oh, wait a minute, that did sound kind of stupid. So I still need to, maintain, some sort of, dignity when he's looking more and more like an idiot each word that comes out of his mouth.
Right. Out here creating baby mamas and then saying he wouldn't date them after the fact. Really? Okay.
It's like, dude, shut up.
You know how it's done. They feel some kind of way. You call them up. They tell them the truth, and they didn't want it to sound, they didn't want it to be the truth because it doesn't work out too well for them. Then they fire up a live stream.
God. They're good for that.
All right.
Disagree some more. Me, and I'm going to do a live stream about her.
Right. You got it.
Two.
Are they both by the same woman?
No, boy, y'all putting stories together.
Well, damn, dude.
Because you told me that the 10-year-old was coming to live with you and you got a 2-year-old. So you acting like your resume, basically everything you saying, you have that resume. Like if the woman you're describing would be you if you were a woman.
It's a double standard, though.
How it's really not a double standard, because what I'm trying to say is to this. As a woman that has no children, right? She could walk in saying, okay, you got 2 baby mamas. I ain't trying to be your 3rd baby mama. Why would I want to do that? Like, no, you got 1 woman you suing. You got a 2-year-old. Why would I, as a quality woman that fits your description, has the looks that you desire, friendly, nice, want to put up with your ass? Like, why would she sign up for that?
Why?
Why would she sign up for it?
Yeah, with a guy with no kids. Or 1 kid.
After she know me and get to deal with me, she goes, she already signed up for it.
So how
you're just a great person.
You can't be the same way. Why can't you give her that praise?
My life outside of her does not affect her.
It does affect her, because if she decides to be, she decides to be the woman of your life, she's going to accept your children, which means she got to deal with 2 different baby mamas. You already.
I deal with it.
No, I know plenty of. I have friends who are married to men that had children, and no matter what you say, there is always that dynamic of the mother. You just can't say anything to that child because the mother is at play. So I have to now decide that I'm gonna deal with you, and you already told me 1 baby mama, you would kill her, so that's drama right there. I know she'll go bring drama into my life. That's what a woman has to agree with to sign up to you. So all I'm just trying to get you to say is what you judging you are. You are the person you're judging.
Right?
The 4 kids on my page are nieces. Thank you. You see how women, y'all so quick to jump to conclusions and judge somebody. But when we start dealing, rattling in your closet, you got worse shit.
No, you done opened your closet and displayed it.
I'm saying everybody got shit. Everybody got shit. So I'm not
about all women. Only women in the comments.
It's just the fact that
ain't no dude listening to you.
The men are saying facts, stuff like that. It's only women in the comments, but it's all single women.
You don't.
Wait. Are you judging?
No.
Okay. How do you know? Ain't that a judgment?
How does he know what these women are?
Well, that's what they do in the chat rooms. That's what they do on a panel. That's how you do it. So I repeat it. Yeah, that's how I do it.
You know what? That I'm just starting to see every word that come out his mouth sounds like delusion. Delusion.
Thank you. Girl, how are you gonna sit there and say, see, they all judge me? No, we just listened to you tell your story for 18 minutes. You told your
story. They're judging you by the words that came out of your crappy mouth. Are you kidding me? It's like nobody made up anything. She's sitting up, the host, she's recounting the shit that he regurgitated and told her. He told her his whole story, and she's like, wait a minute. Now, you mean to tell me you're the prize, but you got this, that, and the third going on, and a woman is supposed to acquiesce to that?
Right.
Why
And
would
that's
a
what he
woman
really
in her right
believes.
mind with no kids and she got her shit going on acquiesce to your bullshit situation that you barely have any control over?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what
Right.
that's what he really thought. He thought he was gonna come and tell his story, and everybody was gonna be like, "Oh man, that's a messed up situation. Like those women were so messed up, and no one was gonna look at him with the side eye." That's what he really thought.
He really did. And that's why, just like when he turned around, right, and he went, that's how you can tell he sits in the echo chamber all day, every day. Because how are you going to sit there and say, women shouldn't judge me for the story I told for 18 minutes, right? They shouldn't judge that at all and make any statements about me, right? But when they say something, they give an opinion of whether they think that I'm worth something, whether I'm a prize or not. They just give an opinion. I can say that they all single. Wait, what?
Right.
So the only way a woman
And
can
he don't
think
have no
that your
knowledge of
bucket
these
of
women.
bullshit, yeah, the only way that that you can say, right, that his bucket of bullshit is if you are a single thirsty woman who's just hating.
But you know what? Nowadays, Ruby, that is an insult. So basically, a woman that is critiquing a man, oh, she's just bitter because she's single.
Right.
The fuck?
But he's single. It's so stupid. You're single
no,
and you're on a dating show
he's
trying to
single
meet
by
single
choice.
women, right?
He's
You're trying to
single by
meet single
choice.
women.
He's single by choice. Don't you stop it. He's single by choice.
He said he got it together. Don't you worry about that. That's what he said.
Right. Well, I'm going to say, listen, we got a whole panel of women up here with various states of engagement. And one way I will say is somehow or another, we all agree that he ain't shit and he's full of shit all at the same time. Right? Amazing.
Right?
Yeah. So I'm saying we're proving him wrong right here. Yeah.
All right.
Men are saying facts, stuff like that. It's only women in the comments, but it's all single women.
But you're a single man. So, okay, they single. You single too.
Wait. I could be married and with the
married. If you could, listen, you could be married, but not to the woman you want to be married to. Because if you could be married to the woman you want to be married to, you would be married. Like, there's no reason if you wanted to be married, you could be married. Then go get married.
I didn't say I wanted to be married. When you asked me, I said I have no problem with being married. But the way I think or live, most women don't agree with it because they never met a man who tells them how they really feel. That's why Kevin Samuels blew up the way he did, which we ain't gonna go into because that's how most men think, right? So you're used to men telling you what you want because they want to have sex with you.
That's that is not my. Okay, so I don't. Hold on. Hold on, real quick. Let me just jump in. To me, yes, Kevin Samuels makes some good points at times, but to me, he's doing more harm than good. I don't want to end this exchange with bashing you. That's not really my goal of my show. I really want to give people the platform to find love. But what I will say is this: you will continue to attract the woman that you're not going to respect to want to marry unless you change your ways a little bit. Now, I'm not saying you got to change drastically. You attract to men. You're always going to get women. I'm not worried about that. But the type of woman that you want to attract and you want to marry, I don't think you're going to attract her unless you do some soul searching and really change your ways. I think you are a prize. We all come with shit. What a good woman has to deal with what you come with, you'll be accepting a lot, whether you know it or not.
Now let's reverse that. If I was a woman that came over here, y'all be like, "Oh, you a prize, baby." Ain't that what y'all tell women all the time?
I would say that.
No,
We got onto this.
Thank you,
we got onto this, Justin, is because of what.
What's he talking about?
I don't know. It got confusing.
Oh, I just got cussed last week for telling a woman that she ain't shit for her choices too. So I don't know what he's talking about. I get cussed all the time for that. I tell anyone who ain't shit that they ain't shit, and anyone who's full of shit that they're full of shit.
Anybody coddling a woman, if she sat up there, I got 10-year-old, 2-year-old, and these baby daddy, and I'm suing one baby daddy, and it's like, girl.
Right, my other baby daddy pulled a gun on me 2 times. Then I gave him a baby for it.
Be like, who are these men that you got to pull a gun on? What are you doing?
Right.
Like, imagine a girl sitting up here right now. She's like, hey, listen, he pulled a gun on me once, right? And so that was upsetting. And so I kept sleeping with him and stayed with him, right? And then he pulled a gun on me again, and that was terrible. So I kept sleeping with him and stayed with him. And then I got pregnant, and he pulled a gun on me again. I didn't leave right away, though, right? Because, I loved
We
him.
kept dibbling and dabbling.
Yeah.
And then we
You
broke
get your
up when the
tired
baby
self
was
out of
born.
here.
It's like, stop it.
Dude, what guy? Like, sometimes I feel like people need to do that. I don't care. Let's say you're in the echo chamber. You're in the all-woman echo chamber or the all-male echo chamber, whatever, right? Well, sometimes I want y'all to stop for 2 seconds, okay? And just retell your story, but change the genders, right? So instead of saying a man went through the following situation, just write a woman went through the following situation, and then tell me if you think it's reasonable. And if you don't think it's reasonable, it's because it's not reasonable.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Like, if you wouldn't justify it for a woman, it's not justifiable. So stop.
I agree. I'm gonna shout out to the Great Regime. Thank you for supporting the channel. You have made she sing. Let's do it.
All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And can I say, Emmanuel Briggs, I 1000% co-sign what you said, that he has a bunch of child support cases or women who are looking for a guy with a different name in neighboring counties. But it's all right, because they're about to find out who he is, because they're going to come across the street and be like, oh, yeah, I want to talk to him. What's his name again? Okay, what's his name? You know how much DMs he got saying, yo, you need to show up here at this time, or I'm bringing you onto paternity court or something. Right? He just put himself on blast the wrong way, because he's about to find out he doesn't have 2 kids. He has 7. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yep. Yeah. I'm sorry. Listen, you can't be riding dirty, as they say, right? You can't be sitting there riding dirty all over the damn place, right? When he has literally no limitations to that, because he thinks that's what he should do as a man, and you think that somehow that's how you accomplish not having a whole flock of children out of wedlock by the time you're 30. Like, that's not the way it works.
I'm sorry, that is ignorant, and for a man to speak like that, it is like, to me, it is a turnoff. Any man who does not understand his role as a man, you're 30 and above, and you have no idea what your role is as a man, and you feel like, just, willy-nilly spreading your seed. If you are a king and you are that special, you're going to make, anyone the mother of your children.
Right.
And then you're going to complain about it. If you're spreading your seed willy-nilly and you're a king and you got it like that, hey, you pay the cost to be the boss. I was told that when I was 5 years old. I pay the cost to be the boss up in here.
Are you sure
a boss is not broke.
Right. Right. But clearly he has no understanding of what it is to be a man, or he wouldn't have to follow people like Kitten Hills and whoever else he may be following online.
Living in the echo chamber of delusion that is reinforced by a bunch of people who fell into red pill rage and then got stuck there indefinitely, and you think that that's what functional manhood is about. It is not. Anyone who has ever, and here's the thing, right? And I've told y'all this before, I do actually believe in red pill ideology in its pure form. I also believe that the concept has been so fully bastardized over the last 5 years that it no longer even remotely resembles what it started as, right? And that's what people need to realize. Red pill rage is supposed to be a small phase. That phase where everything is about women ain't shit and you hate the world and everything's terrible. That's supposed to be a tiny phase. That is not supposed to be where you live indefinitely. And if you're living there in that echo chamber, you're on a fail.
No, those men are stuck in red pill rage. I agree that, it is an ideology and it makes sense when people go through it. But when you don't graduate, these fools are remedial because they haven't graduated. You go through the red pill stage and then, you graduate. You don't stay there. You don't build a house, get married, and live in red pill rage, because it's not going to be a good look. It's not a good look.
It's not a functional look, and it's definitely not going to get you anything you want or need in life. Not only that, it's distracting you, because ultimately only a very small part of red pill ideology has anything to do with women or dating. Anything. Right? Like that's not why it was formed. And everyone,
small portion of it. That's a small
exactly.
portion. That's where these fools are stuck. They're stuck on the women and the dating and what they couldn't get and what they didn't get 20 years ago.
Exactly. Facts.
I'll tell you what's really sad. The way you described the mothers, well, you only described one, but I can just imagine the 10-year-old. I don't know, but who knows? These are the mothers of his children.
Yeah.
And you're saying, well, he only described one, but just think the things that you're saying about the woman. So would it be fair to say that there'll be some struggle when it comes to raising this child?
Absolutely. Clearly they don't have a functioning relationship. It can't be.
Nope. That's why his 10-year-old is struggling right now, right? Because as we said, his 10-year-old is struggling. He's gotten older. He's struggling. That's why the mom's sending him, right? Because he didn't fight for his kids. The mom is sending him because she's concerned enough about the 10-year-old's behavior that she's like, hey, he needs a man at this point. Please, can you do something? And he said, fine, whatever, since you ain't shit as a mama know how, right? Like, he's not an invested father. You can tell that just based on what he said. Right, over and over.
Those kids sound like cars to me. It's like, oh, I got a BMW and I got a Mercedes. I got a 10-year-old and a 2-year-old.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, let me go and finish this out.
Whether you know it or not.
Now let's reverse that. If I was a woman that came on here, y'all be like, "Oh, you a prince, baby." Ain't that what y'all tell women all the time?
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't actually say that. The only reason we got onto this, Justin, is because of what you said about single moms. So that's what made this conversation grow.
That's what I prefer. If I prefer a woman, I didn't say I wouldn't date a woman with a child, but I said if I prefer a woman with how you go bash that? Just like prime example.
You said, no, it was more. You can watch it later, but you said she has to be a hell of a woman. You said that she has. Oh God, you said that you have to take care of her children. Your kids won't be her issue. But if I'm a woman and I'm dating a guy who has custody of his child, I would have to decide if I want to be live a life with this man and then also be a stepmother to a child who I didn't give birth to. Why would I sign up to be baby mama number 3? You got 2 baby mamas. I'm a sin in line to be third baby mama.
You wouldn't be a baby mama. I'm not having no more baby mamas. The next one will have a ring on her. But
stop it.
Like I said, it's more women accept men with children than men accept women with children. We could agree to that, right?
We could listen. Of course, we can agree to that. I'm talking about the type of woman that you want. That's all I'm saying. I have no. You'll never get an argument with me. You will always have.
I'm not arguing.
I think you will always have a woman. I'm talking about the one that you would meet that you would feel worthy enough to be your wife. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
He don't even know what to say. He's like,
stuck on stupid.
Exactly. Like he's like, I don't even know what to say.
He ran out of talking points because that's all it is. Just think about all the a lot of the places that you hear, a lot of the men that talk about these talking points. My question is, do you have children? Because it makes sense if you're talking about something, then maybe you experienced it. And if you have experienced it, why don't you talk about the experience instead of just repeating the talking point?
Right.
That's what I'm not understanding. I go to this show, ABC and 1, 2, 3. I go to the next show, ABC, and just go around show after show after show. All I'm doing is just repeating.
No originality.
Exactly. How does that affect me as an individual in my life?
Well, the reason why they don't do that, Char, is because, like I said, they're all stuck in some process of development that's not complete, right? They have not, in essence, self-actualized, right? They are not grounded, fully self-actualized men. I mean, and I'm talking about the ones who have actually gone through these things and are not just sitting there in perpetual terror to even try. I'm talking about the ones who've gone through things. And so when you haven't actually gone through that development, got to the very end, right, where you've taken that accountability, you've examined yourself, you figured out what did you do wrong in the relationship, not what they did wrong, what did you do wrong, and did all of that and healed and recovered, how you can't direct or guide or help anyone else through it. And the thing is, there are guys out there who have actually gone through this process, right? But no one wants to hear them because they aren't repeating the red pill rage at you, right? Because they're not in rage anymore. So they're
simp.
Yep.
They're
They're trying
types of names
exactly.
thrown at them. They're cups and they're simps and they're all these other maggles or whatever else they're called in these spaces.
Yeah, they're weak. They're back to blue pill. Like, no, at the end of the day, they've gotten to the place where they understand what red pill is about, which is understanding reality, right?
You go through it, you realize the reality of it, and then you go through the rage because you're like, damn, this is some bullshit. And then after that, guess what you do? You get over it and you move on with your life.
You move on, exactly.
Right, because the reality is not the problem. It's not actually. The problem is that you didn't know that was the reality. So you were functioning, right? A lot of guys are functioning on the premise, right, that like women, you put them all on pedestals, they're all so sweet and so nice and just looking for love and da-da-da-da, and women aren't really about sex like that, and women don't cheat like that. And you know, it's a whole bunch of falsehoods that they were kind of born and raised on. And then they kind of, the first time they get demolished by the world, maybe they go, you know, it was probably just her. But then, you know, you get to the third time or a really bad time, and that's when they explode, right? That's when they're like, okay, now you're enraged because you know what? You wouldn't have gone through all of that pain if someone hadn't lied to you. That's how you feel, right? And so you go through that. That makes sense, right? Being angry at the fact of women's nature and women's minds and women, whatever, they function differently than you and and they have priorities of their own that they're looking to fulfill. And that shouldn't be something so enraging and disgusting to you that you stay stuck in that forever, right? Just like women, we have to recognize a bunch of stuff about men that is not happy. Right? It's not like, oh, yeah, I love the fact that men will sit there and lie to me and tell me they love me when they don't really, just so they can get up in my cooch. Right? I don't like that fact. It wasn't a great fact to learn, right? But you learn it. You don't stay enraged at all men indefinitely over it, right? You're more careful with your decisions, with your choices, with the movements that you make in relationships, especially at the early stages, right? Like you change up your behavior, you change up your energy, you take accountability for the places that you went wrong, you went left when you should have went right, right? And then you put out a different energy and attract a different kind of person in. You change your expectations and that list you drew up. You put new things on that list because now you realize that a whole bunch of stuff that have more to do with character and values and morals and stuff like that are more important than all this surface bullshit that you thought was important at 17, right?
Do you know what that's called, Ruby? Do you know what that's called? That right there is it's called accountability.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You made your decisions, you live with the decisions that you made, and not only do you do that, you learn from the decisions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, rather than saying, you know what, he was terrible, I'm upset because he was terrible, and I don't believe that he was terrible, but he was terrible, and he was terrible, and how dare he be terrible because he shouldn't have been terrible, and how terrible was he because I'm a good person, but he was terrible. And it's like, look, okay, yeah, he was terrible. We're not gonna even try to sugarcoat that. He was terrible, but lady, it's like, stop, regroup, look at the whole situation, and don't find another one like him.
Right. And it's not only called accountability, it's called maturing.
Yes.
Thank you, Neek. Nobody talks about the maturity. Nobody talks about the maturity.
Maturity? What's that? We
Right,
gotta have
Exactly.
another stream. I don't know what you talking about. We gotta come back and do it again
We'll
and
do a
talk about it some
maturity
more.
stream. We'll do a maturity stream, and when that frontal, lobe is fully developed, and the decisions that fully grown, developed adults should be making. When you're 30 and 40 years old, you shouldn't be talking like you're a 16-year-old. We're not, not accepting that. We're not accepting that.
Yep.
And I think that the bigger issue is a lot of people, men and women, have this ideal that, I shouldn't have to change. Everybody else should change.
Oh, stop
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stop it.
Oh, truth of the night, man. Truth of the night. That is like, it is such a typical millennial Generation Z, even us who are Zennials, who are like kind of on that border between millennial and Generation X. Dude, it is such a common, even young Generation X, from young Generation X down, it is such a common problem that you see. Like, it's not even in just ain't shit people or ratchet people or whatever. It's in general in society right now. Everyone should change to make me comfortable. Like, the amount of comments I still get on articles I wrote 15 years ago, right? Because I'm saying, in essence, like, yeah, no, this is not a good look for you. And if you decide to do this thing, like not wear a bra in public, with your boobs hanging down to your belly button and your nipples visible through your shirt and whatever, you're going to draw a certain kind of attention. And if you are okay with that, cool. But if you're not, you need to change you, because you can't change other people's opinions. And people are so mad, right? That's what they want.
How dare you?
That's
How dare you
crazy.
tell me I got to do something different? They should just accept me how I come.
Exactly. And I have a right to other people's perception. I have a right to other people's opinions about me. That's what people are walking around in this day saying for the last 20 years. I have a right to your good opinion of me, no matter what I do.
You know what? But that's the whole thing. That's where they're wrong. It's because, it's 50-50. It can be good. It can be bad. And my thing is that if you're going to put yourself out there, you have to expect both. If I put myself out on the internet in a certain type of way and I got a whole bunch of negative things, I'm going to be mad at them for giving me the negative, talks, or am I going to, be upset at the way that I maybe presented myself?
Exactly.
And that doesn't necessarily mean that even if you present yourself in a good light, there are going to be people that are going to think shitty things about you. That's life in general. That's not even on the internet. That is life in general. And that's where I don't think that a lot of times people get life skills. These are life skills, because it's like not everything is a 10 on the scale. Some things are a 1 or a 2, but everybody will make everything that happens to them a freaking 10. And it's like,
right.
Yeah, that's probably a 3. You have to deal with that. Sometimes that comes with the territory. Chill out.
And you know what the big, I guess, and to like add to that, right? Because they're making everything that they go through, their experience or whatever, a 10, what everyone else is going through, they minimize it, right? So that their 10 becomes a 3. And then they're sitting there and they're asking what's wrong with everyone else, right? Like, y'all could, like, little teeny tiny little story time, but y'all who know me behind the scenes, y'all know, right? I ask a lot of questions about why people don't like me, why people don't receive me well, why whatever, but I'm not asking what's wrong with them. I'm always asking what I'm doing wrong. What could I do differently? Because there's something else I could do differently, And if I'm given an answer that everyone else ain't shit, I still don't accept that. Like, I want to know what can I do though, right? That's what I'm asking, right? That's actually a point of maturity, that you can actually sit there and ask for constructive criticism on self. Right? What am I doing wrong? What's wrong with the signals I'm putting out? What's wrong with the words I'm saying? What can I do differently to get a better result? Right? And that shouldn't be such like, those are all curse words. Like, how dare you? Right? I should get a better result because I exist. Right? I think, therefore I am. And that should be good enough. Just across the board. Like,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Okay, sure. If you think so.
Well, I'll say this one thing on our way out, and if you want to make a change, and you can just double the time that Lady Vonda says 6 months, just double it to 1 year and try that.
Right?
1 year. Shout out to the 1 years.
There's a pocket P for y'all gentlemen out there. Pocket P.
God, that's a lot of blue balls in the world.
It's like your pocket pee. You got a pocket kitty, you're good to go.
A year. Just get into a woman's mind. You'd be surprised at what you find.
And there'll be no children, so that's a guarantee. So try it for a year.
There you go. No children means no child support.
There you go.
Well, I hope you guys had a great time. We got a chance to get through the video and point out a whole lot of stuff. And then as far as Daryl, I'll see if I can get in touch with them.
Yes, please.
Yes,
so we can help him out.
Daryl. I'd like to talk to him.
Yeah. And he seems like a sweetie. And tomorrow is article reaction. So do tune in, at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll have that. And thank you everyone that came and donated your like and contributed to the channel, your time, your comments, all that is important. I definitely appreciate it. And I hope to see you guys tomorrow. I'll play the commercial on the way out for article reactions. And as always, peace.
Cheers, y'all.
Bye, everybody.
Happy birthday, Nick.
Happy birthday, Simply Nick.
Whoop, whoop.
Hey folks, it's your nighttime, it's your right time DJ Music. Make sure you join Char Willie each and every Saturday, 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central for article reaction, right here on your local YouTube channel. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe to Article Reaction.